which basically filters them. We're live? Cool. Okay, we're live. Well, welcome to attempt number 2, Flyover. Flyover, and flight number 12, attempt number 2, and our third flight for the week. So, just real quick, Matt, you want to start addressing some of our awesome members?
Yeah, give me just 1 second, Steph, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, come on. You're pushing it now. Sure. Okay, let's have a look around. What's happening at the airport? Oh, we've got just a private jet. Let me have a look at that. Where's that? There. I think that's Nicki Minaj's jet. I don't know. It's not actually registered to her as the owner, but that doesn't mean it's not hers. And we're waiting for the top of the hour for SpaceX to start their broadcast. Well, almost at the top of the hour. So yeah, big exciting yesterday. A bit of a roller coaster ride. We got the countdown went down nicely. Everything was going perfectly. Then we had a hold. Then we had a countdown. Then we had a hold. Then we had a countdown. Then we had a hold. And then finally, a silly little pin of all things to stop a great big launch. Just one little hydraulic actuator and one silly little pin, which must have been so frustrating for the technicians. Imagine the booster team and the tribe, and the ship tribe going, "You just had one job."
All right, I'm ready over here. Sorry about that. So, just want to let everybody know we really appreciate all the support and donations and everything that you give us. It really makes a huge difference as far as being able to afford these flyovers and get the team together and make everything happen. So, thank you so much for all of that, everybody. It means the world to us. And along those lines, we had a bunch of support come in overnight through our PayPal, which definitely helps. As we all know, YouTube takes a pretty decent sized cut out of super chats and stuff, and the PayPal is 100% to us. So it just gives us that extra little bit of support, so we really appreciate it. So, as far as the ones that we actually had our very own Indy come through with a $200 donation. Just absolutely amazing. Then we had William Dason, which is Yazada, sending us $20. We had I think Bama in Italy, $194, saying buy some gas for the flight. Then we had Just Martin with $64.19. We had Brian Aries for $20 and Denise Williams for $25. So yeah, it's so amazing. We really appreciate that all.
Hey Matt, didn't we have a last minute one yesterday too for $100 from somebody right after the stream ended?
Yes, we did. We actually had a $100 super chat come in right after we went into our outro. So yeah, we want to say thank you to that person. I don't have their name right off the top of my head, but I will get that and say it here in just a little bit.
Was that Brian? Just off the top of my head.
No, it was a name that it was a name that we don't see very often. Give me just 1 minute and I'll get it. But hey, look at that. We're up in the air.
Okay, cool. I can see the screen. Yep, I've got YouTube running over there. Everything looks good. So 5x5's in chat. Did we get that? We'll go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, we definitely appreciate those donations, especially on these weeks. We're 4 times in the air this week. That's just a lot, and you guys make this happen. Thank you so much.
The name was Meg Weaver 274, and the comment was, "Here's for next month's flyover for the launch."
Perfect. Thanks for that event, dudes. I was just about to grab it. Appreciate that.
Launch next month? What launch?
You know, the next one.
The next one in like 2.5, 3 months. Sorry, I wanted to make a joke on that one.
I wonder if they meant next month's like RGB flights. So we had some 5x5s in chat.
So something I wanted to circle back to was something that happened really close to the flight attempt yesterday. Was as they were playing that video, they decided to come out and say that they were going to do a flyby of Mars, which was kind of crazy. But something I wanted to kind of touch on was how long it might actually take before that kind of a thing would even be possible. So, Ryan Weber, I'm sure you would probably have a little bit more info as to that of how many flights would it take to be able to fill up a ship that is up and waiting and to be able to actually go out to Mars and come back.
He's not just doing that; he's going to the moon too.
Right. So that's what I mean.
That's a
How many actual launches would it take to be able to get enough fuel up there to load that thing up to be able to actually make that happen?
Oh, hang on. Didn't we review the video and it made it sound like it was one, but it actually is 2 trips. Like the first one would be to the moon and then the second trip would be to Mars. I thought that we went over it after the stream and kind of listened to it better.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but
You are correct. Just to clarify really quickly, SpaceX did post on their website the update, and the update was about, if everybody remembers the Dear Moon mission, the Dear Moon mission had a second buyer named of Tito. Tito was always going to be Dear Moon, and that was going to be the Apollo 8, 13, whatever you want to call it, or Artemis 2 mission. And now we have another passenger. My curiosity was, are we going to have additional passengers after that? But that was going to be the first mission. So we have to talk about that first. Then after that Dear Moon mission was going to be this crazy Mars flyby mission.
well, it makes things a lot simpler because if you were going to try to get a starship to the moon and then to Mars, oh boy, we can just talk about how many launches it would take to refuel a starship in lunar orbit. Because it takes 15 just to send 100 to maybe 200 tons of prop out to the moon. So you're talking 15 times like 15 flights. So if that's out of the realm, then well, just to get to the moon, you're talking like 15 flights. Get to do a flyby around the moon. You can do a TLI burn that allows you to do a free return. Like Artemis 2 did, or you can do one where you capture and then come back. I don't know, because you're not landing, so you can use the prop for that. And then getting to Mars. I mean, you can set a trajectory to Mars to do a flyby. If you do it right, you might be able to. I don't know if you'd slingshot around Mars. You might have to do a burn as you get closer to Mars to slow down to partially capture to Mars and use its gravity well to slingshot you back on a free return back to Earth, which that could easily take 2 years to complete that entire mission. Because you're not hard burning towards Mars, you have to conserve fuel to then do a burn to slingshot back. Because you're not refueling that thing out there. So both would take at least 15 flights, 10 to 15 flights, depending on how much capacity Starship has when they actually try this. And the mission duration for the one on the moon would be probably around the same as Artemis, or so, probably about 10 days, probably 2 weeks, and then or less, and then depending on how they did the free return, or if they actually went into low lunar orbit or something. The one to Mars, yeah, that would take like 2 years, nearly. It'd be like 500 plus days.
Yeah, it does say 200 kilometers, so it's going to be 7 days. It's going to be closer. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I see there's 2 different flights, one flight to the moon and back, and then the Mars flight could just be a free return, like Apollo 13 basically, but around Mars. I'd see your mission to explore outside the Earth-Moon system before flying to the Red Planet, so they're going to explore past Earth-Moon system on their way to the Red Planet.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's a cool like transfer something or other trajectory that allows them to do kind of a close flyby, similar to what or I forget the name of the mission, is doing right now that launched on Falcon Heavy instead of SLS because SLS was behind. But some sort of situation like that where it's going to take him that 2-year mission, because otherwise it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Be right back.
Still pretty exciting for them to be going up to the. So Dear Moon's basically happening again, and then Dear Mars, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, going to Mars.
I mean, they did it in The Martian, so why not? It has to be real.
Just get Matt Damon. He'll make it happen.
You can do a flyby of Mars and slingshot back around, depending on the trajectory you run with it. But yeah, it depends. I think it depends on the vehicle you use and everything else. There's a chance you might have to do a burn to partial capture. Because I don't think they would want to try to capture fully on Mars and orbit Mars, because at that point then you need enough prop to leave Mars orbit and to come back to Earth, and that's incredibly risky. That you might not have enough prop to do it. There's a chance. So you just kind of go and free return back.
Yeah, and during the event, he said 2 hours. So we're expecting a 2-hour event. So I would have to go calculate what a 2-hour kind of trajectory around Mars would be for that kind of situation. But the other part that I'm misunderstanding here is how it takes them 2 years to do this. So it has to be some other trajectory they're doing first.
Yeah, because you're like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you're doing, because it takes 6 months to get there. But then that's the other problem, and I think that's where the 2-year mark comes in, because it takes you 6 months to get there, or it might just be like 1.5 years. But after those 6 months, you're out of the home and transfer window to Mars, and you try to come back to Earth, so you're free returning back to Earth. That's a long way back. Like, that's not 6 months back. That's like a year back, because of the you've already maybe not a year back, but you already have that increase in distance between Earth and Mars, and you're not. And it also depends on how much velocity you get out of a slingshot around Mars versus how much velocity you have doing your Mars injection burn off Earth. So that's probably also has to do with how much velocity you're going to have and how long it'll take. I'd be curious to know, and I would love to know if they think prop can last that long inside Starship. I don't think it can. So like mid-course correction burns or yeah.
I did found a few of the numbers. So low Earth orbit velocity is 28,000 kilometers an hour. Translunar injection, so that's like re-entry speed as well, which is going to be important in a second. So translunar injection velocity is 38 to 40,000 kilometers an hour, and then trans-Martian is around 41,000 kilometers an hour. Now, my little physics brain, which isn't that good, tells me that that's also the re-entry speeds coming back from Mars. So somehow they have to do some kind of braking or skipping in the atmosphere and back to do a 41,000 kilometre an hour re-entry, as opposed to at the moment they're doing a 28,000 kilometre an hour re-entry.
Well,
speed.
the thing about your velocity coming to a planetary object is dependent on how long you're in its gravity well and how much you're basically falling into its gravity well. So like Artemis 2, they gained a ton of speed really quickly because they eventually fell out of the moon's influence and then they started falling right back towards Earth. I would be curious, with no lunar influence at all, how quickly you would fall back, how much speed you would gain coming from Mars into Earth's gravity well. I'd be really curious how much.
There's a simple, if you take all mechanics back to very simplistic, it's like throwing a rock up in the air and down again. So it's basically an elliptical orbit. So it should be returning roughly the same speed as the trans-Martian injection-ish.
Yeah.
Are they live on X yet?
Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah, they are.
Oh,
Hey, you get T-minus 25 minutes and 52 seconds right now. You got frost on all 4 tanks. So
alrighty, let me get this.
Saw yesterday how we got back to launch. It's a really good example of all of the different moving parts that have to work together to get a rocket off the pad. About halfway up that tower, you see an arm holds all of the propellant connections into the ship. It's also set up so it kind of pushes against the ship to help make sure that we have a really good connection and it stays attached when we unlatch that quick disconnect. There's a pin in the arm near where that attaches to the tower that has to be removed before the arm can swing away for launch. It's important to remember there's a lot of benefit to not release the arm too early or too late, and a lot of hardware that has to work in concert in very, very short time frames. We started to unpin it. Releasing that tension caused some motion in the arm that triggered a hold, and that put the pin back in. Then that got us into a bit of a tug of war between systems on the tower that rely on hydraulic pressure to work. Really, the arm trying to keep its pressure on the ship and trying to pull that pin out. You saw we made a couple of attempts to fix the issue, eventually got the pin to start retracting again, but hit the same motion hold. Ultimately ran out of time. The team, though, made some hardware, some software changes to get us into a better position to fly today. We had the tower team up there last night. They welded in some hardware that's going to cut down on the motion of the arm as it's pushing back when the pin's released.
So that's
and getting
what
all
they
the data
did
we
last
saw
night.
on how
That's
this
what the
hardware
sparks we were
interacts
seeing.
in those critical moments. Went in, looked at our software,
I'm not
all
hearing
the
that.
logic, see where
X,
we
are we
were
listening to
overly
X?
conservative, where we may have had holds
Yes,
built
it's
on
fine
the
on
wrong
the screen.
readings or
Yep.
the
This
wrong
is
time.
this is somewhat
Overall,
fine on
though,
the screen.
really fast
Now I
work
hear
by
it.
the engineering teams put us in a position for flight today. Heroic work by our logistics teams to
Well, it's
get
my
all the
famous
propellant out
pin.
there. But
Yeah, they never touched the pin. They just, like you said, it did
flight
supports
controllers
in
on
front
console,
of the pin.
looking at the rocket, looking at the pad, looking at the range, all the
Yeah, they
systems
basically, I
as
think
we
they
count
did
down
something
to
to try to
liftoff.
tweak the arm
Propellant
so it
load
wouldn't get
is
jammed,
underway.
'cause I
You can
think it
see the
got
rocket,
jammed.
the rocket
That's what
getting
happened.
frosty. We're on track to
think
launch
just the
at
pin
the
got
top
jammed,
of
they
our
couldn't
window
retract.
at 5:30
So they
p.m. Central
basically
Time.
made sure it
Weather
wouldn't
has
do it
been
again.
gorgeous. Thank you to everybody who was outside yelling at clouds that got us weather yesterday. It extended into today, and we are looking at a green range right now. Functionally, today's countdown identical to yesterday. It looks very similar to previous Starship flight tests. Some minor differences in timing on things like when we start propellant load, when the water starts flowing on the diverter, when our engines start up. But all the hardware is new booster, new ship, new engines, new pad. Let's do another quick look at everything that's debuting today with Starship version 3. As Kate noted, some of the outside will look familiar, but we've made extensive upgrades across the entire system. Big picture, because Starship's still very, very big. It's just over 407 feet. A little bit taller than version 2, have more propellant in both stages. On the bottom half, our super heavy booster has some visible structural changes on the outside. On its top, we've got an integrated hot stage now. Got rid of the one-time use one, so we're doing that for reusability. The ship's Raptor engines are going to be igniting directly into the top of the booster. That's where you're looking right now. All of that force and heat offset by the pressure inside the booster's fuel tank and a thin layer of non-structural steel. The grid fins on the booster, which we used to steer on descent, went from 4 down to 3, but we made them 50% larger. Higher strength, also use them for lift, and we'll use them for catch on future missions when we bring the booster back. We redesigned the fuel transfer tube inside the booster. That's what's sending all of that massive amount of liquid methane down to those 33 engines, lets us light all 33 at the same time and have faster, more reliable flips. The bottom of the booster looks very different with those Raptor 3 engines. We deleted all of the bulky engine shrouds from previous generations, all of the prop, avionics hardware, everything for that super tightly integrated now, protected by much slimmer shielding. Up on the second stage, Starship version 3 designed to carry massive orbital payloads up to 100 metric tons to Earth orbit, the Moon, and Mars. Biggest changes inside the vehicle itself. Propulsion system got a complete redesign, increased our propellant tank volume, improved our steering on orbit. In the payload bay, the PEZ dispenser is supercharged. That's going to increase the deploy speed for each of our satellites. We've got 22 payload deployables in there today. It's the heaviest we've ever carried on Starship. Eventually, we'll have up to 60 planned of those Starlink V3 satellites. Also on the ship, we added docking ports. There's 2 right below the payload bay door, 2 near the bottom. That's going to enable us to have Starships link up in orbit for propellant transfer. Also modified the connection point in the ship to facilitate that. So
these are the
a lot of
cams that are,
upgrades tip to tail, and still powering it all is the Raptor 3. Now, those engines are manufactured in Hawthorne, California, tested in McGregor, Texas, redesigned their ignition system, bumped up the thrust in the sea level and the vacuum engines, and then took all of the sensors, feed lines, controllers, everything that was kind of the busy sections around Raptors 1 and 2, and either deleted them or internally integrated and protected them inside the engine. That dramatically cut down on the weight, made it easier for those to manufacture. So, just an incredible amount of effort from the world's best engineering team getting this rocket to the pad ready to launch today. I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. That was a lot. Send it back down to Kate and Jake for more on Pad 2.
Yeah, so like Dan was just saying, the team has been working hard on a brand new rocket, but we also redesigned the ground systems. And that brand new Pad 2 is making its debut today.
We took everything we learned from operating on Pad 1 to create this totally new launch pad. Pad 2 is optimized for full and rapid reusability. We've upgraded our propellant farm with much more storage and more pumps to enable super fast filling for launch and relaunch. And on the tower, we changed to shorter chopsticks. That's the black assembly there at the top of the tower, and that enables even faster motion to better track vehicles flying in for catch.
Yeah, and we also changed the actuators driving those chopsticks from hydraulics to 100% electromechanical, increasing their speed.
Bama in Italy is wondering, do we know the payload weight for today?
On the ground, the launch mount was also completely redesigned, and if I had to describe it in one word, I'd say robust.
Not really.
But it's also smarter. We've separated the fuel and aux systems into different compartments and repositioned the booster quick disconnects to be out of the vehicle's plume during liftoff.
And as you can see there on your screen, we also have a new bidirectional flame diverter and a new top deck flame deflector to eliminate metal wearing down. So we said goodbye to the pancake. However, this will help us get to 0 refurbishment between launches. Now, this pad is still built for maximum safety and fast turnaround because making life multiplanetary will require launching a lot of Starships. Now, it's currently T-minus 18 minutes and 38 seconds. We're going to hop over to Hawthorne for a moment for more on Starlink with Tyler Lionquist. Tyler?
Hey, Kate, thank you so much. I'm Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. We're excited to be back here in Hawthorne, ready for another attempt at a launch today.
Hello.
So as we talked about yesterday, on today's flight, we're deploying 20 Starlink simulators, plus 2 modified Starlink satellites, which our team internally refers to as Dodger Dogs, because they stretch the V2 Mini satellite propellant tank so that it sticks out from both ends of the satellite.
Oh,
and the Dodger Dog serves as a tech
there.
demo between the V2 and the V3 Starlink satellites, and acts as a platform for testing V3 components. Now, the larger V3 satellites aim to greatly expand our network's capacity, while V3 hardware is designed to support faster Wi-Fi and improved broadband speeds for our customers, while providing significant capacity upgrades from the V2 Mini. So, in addition to delivering future V3 satellites to the Starlink network, Starship is also planned to launch our AI satellites. And as you may have seen during the TerraFab event in Austin a few months ago, Elon laid out the path to revolutionize cloud computing and AI infrastructure, leveraging the unlimited power of the sun, targeting 100 gigawatts to 1 terawatt of AI computing power annually. And from there, we're looking at connectivity beyond our planet too. Building on the technologies used to connect people on Earth, the Starlink team is exploring using Starlink to enable high bandwidth connectivity around the moon. With a constellation of satellites designed to connect to user terminals on the lunar surface, we could relay data back to our Starlink constellation in Earth orbit. So traditionally, deep space comms have relied on radio frequency transmission. But this new design would use lasers to relay data back to Earth, which can massively increase the bandwidth available to future lunar missions. We currently have thousands of lasers operating in our Starlink constellation around Earth, and deploying that technology around the moon could connect it with hundreds of terabits of capacity. Together, this could provide the connectivity backbone between the Earth and the moon, and enable gigabit connectivity anywhere on the lunar surface, providing data for rovers, habitats, and astronauts, and hopefully some incredible views for us back on Earth too.
I think that's the JAXA one.
So all of that adds up to a lot of satellites, but the good news is there's still plenty of space in space. That said, the Starlink team takes space safety extremely seriously and works hard to encourage best practices across the entire industry so space stays open for as many people as possible. In fact, just yesterday, the Starlink team published a new update on Starlink.com to encourage all satellite operators to better coordinate and follow best practices to keep space safe. So for more on safety, go to starlink.com/updates. And with that, let's kick it back over to Kate and Jake and Starbase for today's mission profile.
Thanks, Tyler. Now let's dive into the flight profile for today's test. As we've mentioned already a couple of times, there are numerous redesigns making their debut today across the entire launch vehicle. In light of this, we want to keep our learning focused on all of that new hardware and software. So we're running a flight profile that's similar to past Starship flights in order to minimize any new variables.
Yeah, that's right. So as always, we start with liftoff, where Super Heavy ignites 33 of those brand new Raptor 3 engines. We power through ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where the booster shuts down all but 5 sustainer engines. Stage 2 then lights its Raptor engines while still attached to Super Heavy, where we see stage separation, debuting the integrated hot stage, directional booster flip, and engine relight for boost back using 33 engines. And after coasting for a few minutes, the booster today will target a landing burn and soft splashdown a few miles off from the coast of Starbase.
That's aggressive.
Ship keeps it going with ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory. Then we'll deploy 20 Starlink simulator satellites and 2 Dodger Dogs, as we affectionately call them. We also plan to relight a single Raptor engine. Next will be re-entry a few minutes later. For the first time in a while, we're intentionally not messing with Starship's heat shield. At that point, we should have some amazing views of the ship's Technicolor re-entry through Earth's atmosphere. Gs. If all of that goes as planned, we'll finish the test with a landing flip, a landing burn, and a soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Yeah. And in just a few moments, thanks to Starlink, we'll be going live to the Indian Ocean and chatting once again with the ship recovery team stationed out there.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That's going to be totally awesome. But sit tight because first we're going to go to Dan for a quick status check.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Good news. Still looking good. Range is green currently. We're expecting another update on that in just about 4 minutes. That should be our final determination. Weather continues to look amazing. Vehicle and pad both looking healthy. We are a little over 80% on fuel, 95 on LOX in the ship, and then a little more than 2/3 it's looking like on booster. So we are on track today, looking good for a launch right now at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, so we're going to do that right at the top of our window. Once again, though, we're going to be targeting to send Starship around the world for a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We had a really quick check-in yesterday with the Starship recovery team out there on station. They're helping us to maintain the range and a whole lot more. So let's jump back out there once more today. We've got Suren Sunai joining us live from the boat deck out in the Indian Ocean, a couple hundred miles off the coast of Australia. Suren, how's it going, man? Welcome to the Flight 12 webcast. How's everything looking out there in the landing zone?
just punch it.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm not going to lie, it's a little rougher than it was yesterday. Nighttime, it's hard to see the horizon, but we're looking at about 10-foot seas, and we're loving it. But it's rough.
All right, what's your guys' primary job out there? I mean,
they had him keep his hands in his pockets this time.
Nowhere. What are you guys doing?
So, like as you mentioned, like it's usually a 500 to 600 nautical miles
you're coming through scrambled
sail from shore. And our primary goal is as a range clearing group. So like we come out here and make sure there's no one else in the area so the rocket can launch. But that kind of allows us to do our second goal, which is to conduct imagery of the rocket as it re-enters and as it splashes down. We get a lot of other data, but like the primary one is for sure imagery with an ensemble of maritime and aerial-based assets.
And talk to us a little bit, because it's evolved over time, kind of humble beginnings of getting those views, to talk us through where we've gotten to now today.
Yeah, I think some people know, but like the Markstead bots are quite identifiable. That's the buoys that we use. And they were originally used as sailboat racers. And we kind of put them in as a Hail Mary attempt on Flight 5 to get imagery of the rocket as it came down. And we all thought it maybe would have worked, but we were super shocked and really pleased to see all of the buoys pointed right at the rocket as it came down, which was a testament to not only the scrappy engineering we were able to put together, but also the rocket's ability to land right on target. And then since then, we've kind of iterated more and more, and these buoys have become way more robust and have now a lot of collection materials, not just visual imagery. And as a result, they kind of are the most mature versions they've ever been. And it's really cool because almost all the buoys that we're deploying even now for Flight 12, we just got them off our back deck a few hours ago, are the exact same ones that were used for Flight 5.
And I saw a couple of user terminals how Starlink kind of playing a role in this entire operation.
Back burn. My answer to that is why not?
Dan, I'm not going to lie to you. If we didn't have Starlink out here, we would be screwed.
Cancel out your horizontal velocity
on like a usual basis of like working,
it's a shorter spurt,
we're allowed to like have calls with each other and like work on documents with each other, send things to each other in like a very timely manner because of the Starlink.
I wonder how it goes with the efficiency with
not only that,
like
each
because
one of these buoys is equipped with a
there'll be some
standard
variation in
Starlink Mini, the one
efficiency
you would just
between the
get from,
two
like,
methods.
Ordering it commercially, and that
Well,
allows
maybe-
us to not
maybe
only
there's
operate
some
the buoy remotely,
efficiency
but also
difference.
to get live stream data and telemetry, which is honestly super useful, and I don't think we have another solution for it without Starlink.
All right, before I let you go, what's it like?
Try
you're
that
out
for
there
the
and all of a sudden
stream.
Starship appears
James
out of the
asked to
sky?
turn the
What's that feel
SpaceX
like, man?
stream down a little bit.
Dan, I can't lie to you, it feels awesome. Just like being on the boat, not seeing any land for miles and miles, and then hearing the Starship crack down with its sonic booms and watching it breach through the sky. It is one of the most magical feelings on Earth, and really excited to feel that again today.
All right, well, thanks, Suren. Good luck, man. Hopefully we're sending a rocket your way real soon. Thanks for joining us in, man. I'm going to send it now back down to Kate and Jake for the latest progress we're making at Cape Canaveral in Florida.
Thanks, Dan. Now, if we want to get to the moon and then Mars as fast as possible, there's really only one
It's interesting the
answer,
difference in
and
an
it's to launch
hour
a
from
lot more rockets.
yesterday, from the
Yeah, to do that,
yesterday's
we're gonna need a
attempt
few
to this
more
day
launch
that
pads
he's in
and
darkness
support
still and he
buildings,
wasn't in light. I'm
which is
coming in
exactly
late. You might have
what we're
even
working on
commented
over
on
in
that.
Florida. So originally built for Apollo and then the Space Shuttle, Launch Complex 39A has flown 126 Falcon missions since SpaceX reactivated the pad in 2017.
Yeah, I actually remember the day that we did
9
that.
minutes.
I was able to host the live webcast for that first launch out of Pad 39A, and it was just so amazing to see that pad come back to life. And it's also exciting to see how today, almost 10 years later, the ongoing construction, as you see there on your screen, and the development that will bring a second launch tower to Launch Complex 39A. It's designed to expand our capabilities to support Starship launches in the future, while also continuing to support Falcon Heavy missions from the original Apollo Shuttle Falcon launch tower.
Yeah, we're not
also,
done.
I
We're
would say to
also building a
remember
Starship launch pad
when
at
it's
Slick
when
37.
it's nighttime there.
And to
Remember,
support the uptick in future
ship.
launches,
It's going to take an
there's
hour for the
Gigabay,
ship to get there.
a giant
Like,
assembly and maintenance
yeah.
facility
It's
designed
not
to
like the
prep
ship's going to
Starships
instantly be
ahead
there.
of
So
Florida
if it was
launches.
an hour from
And
now,
when
it was
complete,
light out. I mean,
this
it's going to be
huge
light out when the
structure
ship
aims to hold
gets there.
24
That's the whole
work
point,
cells
so
in over
I'm not really that worried.
800,000 square feet of workspace. It's going to be a big building.
So much space.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
it didn't expect like
SpaceX
this
Florida-
time, like the
SpaceX's
time frame
future in
to be
Florida
that
is
close to
quickly
sun up that
taking shape
that
with
it
our
would
very
be that
first
different
launches
in the
on the
interview
horizon.
timing.
Exactly. A horizon that aims for regular trips to
It must
the
be right on
moon. And
dawn
speaking
because
of
it's
moon,
8:20
we've got
where I
another
am,
special guest for you
and it's
today.
well and
Dan,
chilly
I think
daylight
the
here
last
now.
time you
But I'm
and
on
I
another
were
side
on
of
a
the country.
webcast with this person was Polaris Dawn,
Like,
as he was
basically-
performing the very first commercial spacewalk.
Hey, it's Jared.
That's right, Kate and Jared.
You made it.
I don't know if today will be quite as
Can
fun
you
as
check
doing
the
a
SQD?
spacewalk, but we're going to try our best to make it as exciting. Like, thanks
Calling
for joining
ultra
us
sus
here
right
today,
now.
man.
That is
You
the
had a heck
most
of an
sus thing
entrance on
I've
the way
ever
out.
seen.
It's great to be here. Yep, certainly great to do a little bit of a flyby. I think they should accompany all the great rocket launches, and we certainly got a great rocket out there on the pad. But wonderful to be back, and no surprise, it's always changing here. It looks amazing.
I was going to say, it's been a couple of years. What was your impression flying in? It just the lay of the
Got
land.
a new job.
Well, I think it was actually maybe 10 months ago. I was here slinging pizzas. I got a new job now, but it was. There's been so much that's changed even since then. Yeah, the facilities look amazing. All the housing that's coming in here, and of course, you got two orbital launch pads out there and a rocket that's just looking fantastic, especially from the air. It's good.
That was the last thing I worked on when I was at NASA. So seeing them go was just insane. Like, how's everybody feeling after the success of Artemis 2?
Well, I'd say I have the best job in the world, and I certainly work with an unbelievable team. I mean, as you know, that mission was a long time in the making. So I got to show up at the right time to see everybody put all that effort to put it in action. But what a great mission! Those 4 astronauts, you couldn't have had better ambassadors for humankind.
Brian, Jared needs a few
really brought us
cheeseburgers.
all on for 10 days, and we're getting ready for what comes next. We're going to start stacking Artemis 3.
Definitely not filling out that flight suit right now.
Already. We're hoping to even get out
6
to the pad
minutes
before the end of the year, do another wet dress. So,
all right.
And we're looking forward to seeing this thing fly, because hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, we're gonna join up in Earth.
Holy crap! I might make it. It was just a flat tire.
Next, and ultimately, like, based on the moon, that's the big focus. Like, what's kind of the why?
Under
like,
6
why
minutes.
are we doing this for everybody?
Oh, well, I mean, and
Come
yes,
on,
we're
green lights,
certainly trying to get back to
green
the moon,
light-ish,
but what's
green,
coming up
yeah.
next? We're also building a moon base in parallel. And why are we doing that? Well, it's for a lot of the shirts I see around here, which is Occupy Mars. I mean, what a great opportunity. Go to the moon, return to the moon, build a moon base on the South Pole, interact with the water ice, right? Maybe work on some of those skills we're going to need when we're 4 days away from home for what we might need someday when we're 9 months away from home. But we got other things coming up too. You got Nancy Grace Roman. That telescope's going to launch later this summer. There's a lot of great, exciting things
You
going on.
need to be
at NASA right now.
skinny to fit into a MiG jet, into a MiG-28.
We're custom built to try and make life multiplanetary. We're super honored, excited to be part of this entire Artemis program. Really excited to see Starship.
We do a lot of training. You got to be very fit to fly a jet fighter
too.
too.
Really exciting future.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me here. It's great.
This is new.
Great to see everybody again. I know a lot of hard work.
This is
leads up to
new.
a moment like this, so we're all rooting
No,
for you.
don't
and,
cut that
we're
render.
Looking forward to meeting up next year in Earth orbit.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you jump back in there. Got about
Thank
4
you.
minutes to go. Toss it back down to Kate and Jake.
Cut that render.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we could listen to you guys yap about the moon pretty much all day. It's so inspiring to hear about the future of exploration on the moon.
Oh, so Jared's allowed to go to the control room, I guess.
Heard
Yeah.
some more future space
of course.
exploration news.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
From
flown a few
to Mission
missions for
Commander Chun Wang
Like,
Yeah.
will be one of the first humans to become
4
an
minutes.
interplanetary
I've seen that
traveler.
before.
You could
I think
do
we've
that
said
even
that
if he
word
wasn't.
before. While also joining Starship's first mission.
Oh, I've seen that
do it
before.
even if he wasn't NASA administrator.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Amazing. In fact, that Dragon capsule that
all
you
good.
saw,
Yeah,
the
I've seen that
Dragon
render before.
Resilience,
I'm gonna
that
pull it
is
up.
the same
4 minutes.
Dragon spacecraft that Administrator Isaac Ben flew in both Inspiration 4 and Polaris Dawn. So it's a good one. Now, Dan, we're now coming back into a terminal count again. Anticipation is definitely growing as we proceed towards our second attempt. Once again, this is the first flight. We're aiming to fly for the first time Starship version 3.
Looks
Massive
like it's full.
upgrades
The prop
across
load
vehicle
should
that
be
you see
complete
at the
by
pad
now.
there, as well as the pad itself.
almost.
The good news is we've had a pretty quiet countdown today. We are looking at a
T-minus
green range
2:10
still,
is the
not tracking
final.
any issues with our weather, with the vehicle, or with the
No
pad
issues at
for
all.
a launch. We are now getting into the phase where we're closing out prop load on the ship, and then boosters
again, they
gonna
were
close
tracking
out in
no
about
issues
15
yesterday, and then
seconds
they
or
ran
so.
into a
Once
bunch
we're
at
fully done
T-minus
with
40,
this,
so.
you're looking at 11.5 million plus pounds of liquid propellant.
They got
on
this
board
today.
Starship and Super Heavy. We're going to get the pad itself ready, push back. All
I
of
think
the
T-minus
propellant that's in
28
those
is the one
lines
that's going to be
running
the
from
key
farm
for us. Because
to the
I think
launch
that was
mount,
that
just
was
kind of
the point
harden
where
the area
the last
and get it
couple
ready for
when
launch.
it was
We're
the
Yeah.
finish.
going to
too.
peek inside,
Yep,
hopefully see the
We get
engines
past
do a
that,
little
I think we're
wiggle as we
golden.
do our final steering check. That'll happen at T-minus 100
Come on,
seconds,
27.
and then after we get through T-minus 40. If
There
you
you go,
tuned in
Ben.
yesterday, you're
It's like
very familiar. If we
a
need
really
to
cool
hold,
render
we can
of
go into
HLS,
what's
and then they cut it.
called rapid recycle, essentially, where we can hang out at T-minus 40 seconds. It's built in. We're only going to hold if there's an issue, not currently tracking one. They can pop up after we pass T-minus 40, but right now we're looking good. Hopefully going to move right past that.
And then once we do pass T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur in quick succession. That is when the QD vent gate, or quick disconnect vent gate, will clear the gas commodity lines that connect the pad to the vehicles. Both the ship and the booster will configure their comm systems for flight and will rapidly run leak checks on gas and fluid tanks. And the booster goes to internal power, and its engines will get their final priming for launch, while the ship's engines begin their ascent bleed profile and arms the automatic flight safety system.
Yeah, and once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, we still have the ability to rapidly recycle the count under certain conditions.
Gimbal checking.
Back to T-minus 40 seconds.
Looks like we might be getting some engine wiggles
Wiggle
here,
test.
as Dan mentioned earlier. These
Yep.
allow
See,
us
they're
to
super
check
fast.
out the thrust vector control actuators on these engines.
That's
It's
so
important to
cool.
make sure that they can steer.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And flame diverter on pad 2 activates at around T-minus 17 seconds and enters what is essentially the point of no return at T-minus 10 seconds. If we have a hold close to T-minus 17 seconds, there's a
All
chance
right,
we
1
could
minute.
recycle, but the
T-minus
closer
1
we
minute.
get to T-minus 10, the lower that chance
Come
becomes.
on,
We just
Flight
heard
Toll,
we're
just
at
go.
T-minus 1 minute.
Yeah, so at this point in time, we're going to stop talking. We're going to let the rocket take over and listen to some amazing pad sounds of the first
Yes,
flight of
I'm
Starship
home.
version
Perfect.
3.
Hope your screens boot up quickly at home.
Oh, I'm not even getting out of the car. I'm just going to sit here. I just don't have to stop on the road or something.
Complete into the
Oh,
prop
hold.
farm. We did hear that did
Kick
just
out and you might
complete,
make it yet.
so expecting them to reset that hold shortly.
A lot of water in the
Oxygen.
retention pond right now.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Clock,
Here we go.
hold is reset, clock is rolling.
35.
Flight directors go for launch.
Cleared 28.
Let's go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Come on, baby.
What a deluge. There it goes.
Yes.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Seems a little
5,
early, but okay.
4, 3, ignition.
Lift off.
Lift off!
We have liftoff.
Whoa,
Oh,
jump.
that's so much faster.
Wow, that was
Oh
pretty
my
good.
God.
A whole lot
Crap.
bad.
They ain't playing this time.
Isn't an SRB, but way better than the previous booster. Wow.
Now let's see it come up over on Mauricio's view.
Clear the tower. Cool, we're safe. And you can... Everything's...
Oh, 33 running.
Yep. Roll program.
All right, we are
You
T
can
plus
see it.
30 seconds into flight.
Oh
Looking
my
good.
god, this is
We have
awesome.
33 Raptor 3 engines on booster V3.
Oh, that's 270 degrees
Ascending
roll.
over the Gulf now, coming up on maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Booster and ship, avionics power, telemetry nominal.
Mauricio's got it.
Systems looking good. We're just past
Is it go, Mauricio?
there it is.
Good job, man.
dynamic pressure.
A little
This is
small on
bullshit.
that GoPro footage
Little
just
over
because
a
of the
minute
wide angle
into
on it.
flight
Trying to
now.
identify it.
Vibrations chilling.
We'll
out
have
here
better shots in a
at
little
Star
bit.
Factory as we continue
Absolutely.
to watch Starship Flight.
Way to
Golf
go,
work out
Mauricio.
over the Gulf. The next
Wow.
major thing
Still all
coming up is
33,
going
no
to be
issues.
hot staging.
I did like a whole
Reminder, we
270
do
degree roll.
what's our version of
Yeah.
Eco. Most engines cut off, so we're going to shut down all but 5 of the Raptor engines on the booster.
Yeah, literally, because that's
And
the
then
leeward
after
side.
that
It went right
happens,
around
We're
it.
going to ignite the 6 engines on ship while it is still attached. We have clamps that hold the 2 together. Those are going to
Piles are
retract
going
inside
well.
of that
Oh,
hot stage
one
ring,
engine out.
kind of protect them. Looks like we had one of the engines go out, still flying on 32 of the
That's
Raptor
fine.
engines. But again,
Although I'm not really
once
that
we get the hot
surprised. It's
staging,
first
those,
flight of Raptor 3. I'm not
6 engines
surprised.
on the ship are going
Yeah.
to ignite. We're
I
going to
know
do
that
it
the
in
same
a little
engine
bit
again?
different of a sequence on version 3. Essentially, those 3
Yeah,
RVAC
5,000
engines will
kilometers an
ignite
hour,
first.
42 kilometers
Almost
high.
immediately after, just one of those central engines is going to ignite, and that's going to give the
Oh, we
booster
pitched
a bit
over
of
nicely.
lift, sending it in a no
Yeah.
direction, followed shortly after by the other
cut off.
2.
Beautiful, man.
Shut down.
Golly, look at that.
That's an interesting.
We're through Miko.
Huge separation.
Miko.
Booster rolls.
Man, that was a
There
quick
you
turn.
go,
Nice.
Successful
Changed
hot
engines.
staging
Oh,
separation.
that
Oh,
booster did
no.
not look good.
We're
Nope.
not seeing
Not
as
good
many
on
booster
booster.
engines
Not good.
ignite as we expected for boost back.
That did not look good for
But we
booster.
are seeing 6 good engines.
comes-
lit.
Oh, look at that
Comes
booster.
FPS.
Oh, no.
No
Looks
engines.
like we just had an early boost back shutdown. Again, a reminder,
that
the
booster is
booster
dead
was
as
planned to
doornail after
essentially
boost
head
back.
into the Gulf.
We're not going to find the
before he
booster in the
splashed
plane
down,
today.
But it
Yeah.
its engines down early on into boost back.
It's going way
We
out
have
in the
one
Gulf.
RVAC out too. Uh-oh.
And we just see one of the
control.
RVACs, so we're now
Oh,
running on
that's not
5
good for
engines
ship.
on
Yeah,
ship.
and it's lost authority too.
And it's lost authority. Yep.
We do have engine out capability, so it's going to continue into its ascent.
The booster's lost authority.
Well, let's see
You
if it
got
makes it.
booster
Let's
on
see
the
if
left
it
there,
makes it.
ship on the right.
Yeah. Chance they can recover it, maybe.
Avionics power
Again,
and
we are
telemetry.
Be a good
not
test if
planning
they can.
on bringing the
Ship
booster
still looks in
back
control. Booster's
for
not.
this
Just
flight,
kinda
as this was
flipping.
the very
Yeah,
first
ship's
Oh,
flight.
look
good.
at the left screen there. It's definitely the. Oh, that's booster on the left. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
All right, so we're about 3 minutes 50 seconds into today's flight.
Are you new
Just
to
a
this?
reminder, the ship
Apparently
planned
it's got
to
No,
engine
but I
out.
was
Its
for some reason I
engines,
wasn't seeing the China at the
for
bottom there. I
about
was
8
thinking that was
minutes and
actually.
change.
Apparently,
About
the
8
ship's
minutes
got
and
engine
11
out
seconds was
capability
our
this time
planned
around,
timeline
so
for today.
maybe
that
it'll be
could
fine.
shift slightly as we do have one engine out running on one fewer RVACs.
So the sea levels that we've kicked right over, or somewhat kicked over.
If 39 makes it all with one RVAC out,
Again,
that'll be
continuing
impressive.
to watch. So booster did not complete its boost back burn. We did not see all of the engines ignite that we expected. Are continuing to get some views from it though. That's going
I
to make
wonder
a
if they'll
splash
try
down
to do
somewhere
a
in the
landing
Gulf.
burn.
Reminder: we clear air, sea space,
Booster,
everything.
I mean, at least it's
for
not.
these launches.
Look at that
At least
view
it's not
from booster.
pieces.
Yeah.
Are they able to attempt a relight on that RVAC?
They may not try.
Right, so
I
we
don't
are
think they would
coming up
try on this
T
flight.
plus
Maybe on later
5
flights, but
minutes.
maybe not.
Ship continuing to fire.
Are they
They
trying to
relay
control?
engines have gone out on booster.
Yeah. Are they trying to control the booster? Is that what we're seeing, or is that just venting?
Standing by
It's
for
tumbling.
callouts, making sure ship's on its planned
Booster is fully
trajectory. Again,
tumbling.
we are planning a suborbital trajectory for the ship today.
It's coming down. and
I
building up.
wonder if the booster makes it through. Like once it gets in contact with the
Booster
atmosphere,
giving
that's
us some
where
views as it
the
continues
Griffins
to
can
make
get
its
control.
way back down.
And they
towards the
might
water.
try a relight of the engines just to see if it can do it, because who cares if it blows
Oh, look at
up,
that.
you
All
know?
right, so
That
a little
looks
bit
like
over 5.5 minutes in flight. Kate, Jake, you guys with me? It looks like booster's starting to come in hot.
Yeah, we had
getting worse.
the opportunity to stand outside.
Oh,
and watch
nope,
it.
Back
Ooh,
and forth. It's like
yeah.
they're. It's like they're.
That
It's like
was
they're almost having
incredible.
some.
They got it.
going, trying. Yeah.
That
They got
was
it.
really loud, really shaky, and I was actually surprised how fast.
Look
the
at
Man, look
the
at those
engine
bells.
The whole stack. That was quite incredible.
Those
Absolutely.
bells
We
are
have
about to
views
disintegrate, it looks
coming
like.
back down.
Not coming back where it's
making
supposed
its
to,
way
but that's
into
looks like
the
they've
Gulf.
regained some authority and maybe
Pretty
might
cool
be
to
able to
see.
try a
Multi
landing
chamber
somewhere.
pressures on
Who knows
5
where
out
it
of
is
6
though.
Ship Raptor engines.
Great
Yeah, they
news
got-
there
Landing
for
started.
Starship.
They're
Whoa.
getting engine chill, ignition.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
And then
Once again, we were not going to bring the
Boom.
super heavy booster back to the tower.
He
that's it for
gone.
booster.
Planning on
Yeah.
having it land in the
He
Gulf.
gone.
I can't wait to see a live view of that splash.
I think it blew up on landing burn.
One engine.
And it looks like the booster ended its mission
And it's just
there
on
in
fire,
the
not
Gulf,
burning.
But we've got a ship still flying.
Still got an
Great to
engine
see that.
running.
Still have 5 out of 6
BJ,
engines
do you see
there
the
on
discoloration on
S39.
39
Yes,
there?
we also heard good chamber pressures as well on
Like
yeah,
right
I'm
at the
trying to
edge
decide
of
if
the...
it's discoloration or if
We
that's
do
more of
have
like
engine out
reflective. If
capability.
that's some
We can see
reflections
we have
going on
one of
from the
RVAC,
sunlight.
one of the Raptor vacuum engines that is currently out.
Yeah, the sun is low
Okay, ship is
in the
continuing on.
sky.
I mean, at this point, I
Amazing
wouldn't
views
really
of
expect
planet
any
Earth
like heating
there in the
discolorations.
background.
I gotta be honest though,
Yeah, I love the S39 decal there. That just gives
the
the
fact
gives the
that
ship a little bit
they
of character.
got back in the atmosphere,
And
got
again, all
control
these
of
great
booster
views
again,
brought to you
attempted a
by
lighting,
Starlink, of
attempted a
course.
landing burn just to see. Not too bad. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
huge.
not what
That's
they
impressive.
wanted, but it's data. So
Yeah, I was half expecting an FTS
Obligatory
pretty much
shout
right
out to
after
the
they
entire
lost all
Starship
the engines there on
avionics.
boostback.
Camera,
well, at that
electronics
point, it's
team
just falling
did a
towards
whole lot of
the
work
large
to
hazard
get
zone they
these
had.
upgraded cameras.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
A look inside
Ooh,
of
look
the
at
ship's
that.
skirt. You can see those 3 center engines ignited. The RVAC's continuing to fire as well.
A red
we did,
light.
We did see
that's the
at least
sunlight
a couple
reflecting?
engines fire up on booster for that landing burn before we lost contact with
What's
it.
that
Here it is.
red?
Yeah, it's red.
Probably a
have
reflection. It's
just
probably
a
that. Yeah, it's probably that
little
RVAC
over
on the
20
far side, the
seconds to
same
go.
glow they
We'll
were seeing on
see
the right side
if the
RVAC,
burn
kind
extends
of
a
reflecting
little
off the
bit.
aft.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I was about to say, is that
for
the
the
RVAC
engine out.
that did it
Essentially,
melt
you can
itself?
run
Like,
your engines a little bit longer, or throttle up a little bit more to account for the one engine not being
Well,
lit.
they're accounting for the engine out.
So right now we are standing by for Seco.
Are we at speed? We're at velocity, is that right?
they're almost there.
Close.
It's going to take a little bit longer because they're
And again,
missing
we
an
are
engine.
continuing to go a little bit longer.
They're going to burn a little bit longer.
Yeah, because you're missing 275 tons of thrust and some ISP there.
5 engines still burning on ship.
Going
Can't
past
pump,
Seco,
can't
yeah.
pump the
There you
brakes just yet.
go. Still accelerating.
Got about 3,000 more to go.
We are coming up on T plus 9 minutes.
I think that RVAC melted.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
I think it did. I think something on the nozzle extension melted it.
There you go.
Here we
It's a bit
go.
of-
Starting to see shutdown.
Maybe.
RVACs
not.
have shut down. Sea levels are shut down.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's about the right,
And there you go.
it's about the right speed.
Now to see
Something
that
was
was-
really hot on the
See if
bottom
we
of that
can
RVAC, I
Get
think.
an update
Yeah.
on the ship orbit
It's still
insertion.
gliding a
We
little
have
bit
shut
down there.
Again, we did run longer as we were engine out. We were flying with
That's
5
what
of those 6 Raptors
BJ was
pretty
saying,
much
that
the whole
glow.
time.
Well, go ship.
Ship FTS is saved.
Go
Wait, what did
coasting
you say?
pace.
Well, that was way spicier than I mean, I wasn't going to be surprised if they lost booster on boost back or something. The fact they didn't
All right,
lose
well,
it and
we
it's
definitely got a
still
ship in space right
re-entered is impressive on that one.
And lit its engines.
Yeah,
And
and ship lost an RVAC and still made it.
And I think
Screw
that
you,
means
Block
booster 20 will not be in line for catch, right?
Oh, no way. No way will
Maybe.
they catch 20.
As you can
I don't think
see,
they
the
will.
teams are incredibly excited to see Starship there in space. We are
Okay, we should get satellite deployment still then. Everything should go ahead with the ship now as planned.
So we're going to stand by for
And I think
that.
they
You can
are
see the
also
flaps,
going to do a
moving
relight
here,
also, right?
actuating.
Yep.
But wow, the cheers here in the
The
lobby are
after-set
certainly
deployment.
almost as loud as liftoff was.
Roll,
Yeah.
roll just
Man, a
then
lot
to
of
get
action going on.
right for the
And,
satellites.
you know,
And
we
those
said
are the
at top of
last
the
two
show,
tests that
excitement
they are
guaranteed,
targeting
and
for this
we're
flight,
only
correct?
11 minutes in. We still have a lot more to go here
yes.
on the mission
Well,
today.
and landing, but yes.
So all objectives are done on the booster. So now
Getting
all
in a
eyes are on
position
the
for
ship
satellite
as we get
deployment.
ready for our in-space objectives.
Yeah, about
Exactly.
6
So
and a
like I
half
said, we're
minutes.
still standing
Man, I
by
hope
to
we
hear the
see a
call out for
video
nominal
shot from one of
level
those
inspection,
satellites.
But we've got a few minutes before the next milestone. So
Not
we're
expecting it,
going
but
to
boy, would it be
continue.
awesome.
We've got some amazing views here of the ship.
17
it's just
minutes, 37, yeah.
This is our planet. This is our home.
Up until most engine cutoffs, that was beautiful though. Even with one engine out, that was awesome.
I'd imagine that gets stressed to a little over 18.
Of
As a
course,
reminder,
yep.
the objectives for ship today not only included the separation that we saw, but we're also planning to deploy
Oh, it's Southern
20,
Atlantic, aren't we?
Starlink simulator satellites, as well as 2 Dodger Dog satellites. That's what our internal teams refer to as our newer satellites. We saw a preview of those earlier. We should see those deployments here in a
Altitude
little
dropping.
bit. We're also hoping to perform
Ship should
a
be.
relight of a Raptor engine. as
Yeah,
well.
it'll be going up
Yep,
for a little
that's
bit.
exactly right. And the
So it should
relight
still be on its
will
way
look
up
a
a little
little bit
bit.
different this time. We're hoping to get a little bit of a longer
It's
duration.
slowing down, so it
Of course,
should be
we gotta
going
see
up
once
right
we
now
get
still.
there.
Yeah, it is.
And that relight won't actually be changing our orbit necessarily, but we're doing it more so as a technology demonstration.
It's got its nose up high. Not that that matters, of course, in space. 164 kilometers, cool. So that's a very low Like with
For those of you that maybe just recently
So it looks like there definitely is some heating
pretty exciting
behind the
almost
titles.
13 minutes. We had a
what?
liftoff
I suppose.
pretty much on time,
Yeah, slight
almost right
discoloration.
exactly at 5:30 p.m. We did
It wasn't going
have a
that fast
brief
through the
hold
atmosphere,
at
was
the
it?
T-minus 40-second period, but we
I don't
were
know.
able
That
to
color changed from
proceed through
when
that, and we
Ryan
saw
made the
a
comment earlier
gorgeous
about it.
liftoff.
I still.
Jake and I were able to
Yeah, it's not
outside
as big,
and
but you can
witness
kind of
that
tell
with
just
all
right
of our
around the
colleagues,
edges a little
and
bit.
what a moment! I'll
Very
tell you what,
light.
it's a heck of a lot louder out here
You
than it
gotta
was
look at the paint
Absolutely.
on the back of the
and
BQV hoods.
a couple things I noticed on the way uphill today on the ship.
The LOX hood.
Obviously, it looks like we lost one of the RVACs on the way.
The bit black?
That is
there's a lot of
good way
missing
to
paint there.
demonstrate our
That's all
potential
there is
engine out
missing
capability
paint.
there. So
Other than the missing
I
paint,
think we
you
actually
wouldn't even
saw
know that there was
the
a launch
three
on that
gimbling
pad
engines kind of
right now.
gimbal over a little bit to compensate for
Yeah,
that.
I'll be really
thrust.
curious to see what the top of
That
the
was
deck
really
looks
cool.
like
That's
when we
something
get
I
some
know the
flyover
team's
images.
been
Yeah.
we've analyzed that since Flight 1 all the way
Well,
back.
they
So
dropped that.
it's something that we've thought about
We
quite a
took them
bit,
down while
and
we're still
it's
there.
kind of cool to see it in action in real life today.
Yeah, absolutely. If you couldn't tell, Jake is on the Raptor team.
Yeah. But hey, one non-Raptor thing I noticed also back on the when we had the shot of the aft flaps. It's a little weird. We have tiles on the leeward side, so not on the side where we're going to see heating. And you might be asking, why are we putting tiles there? I had the same question actually. So I talked to some of our heat shield engineers the other day, and we're actually running. Yeah, here's the shot right here. Great. So the fact that we're seeing all these tiles still on the flap right now is really good, because that actually was one of our experiments where we wanted to test different connection methods on the way uphill on ship. So actually ascent. So it looks like most, if not all, the tiles are still hanging on there. So that's actually a really good data point.
Looks pretty good to me. Now, once again, this view is from the side of Starship, which is basically the second stage of the Starship vehicle as a whole. This is one of the flaps on the vehicle that helps to control its position and attitude as it is orbiting, and also helps to control during re-entry as well.
That
That's a critical
view is
phase.
just insane.
I mentioned earlier that we're hoping to deploy those Starlink satellite simulators, as well as perform an in-space relight of a Raptor engine. If all of that goes well, we will be targeting a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We heard from Suren on the recovery
the
team.
Gateway to Mars
earlier.
sign
They're
is
standing by
gone.
waiting,
Really?
to
Like
ship.
gone?
Awesome.
Oh, there's like
Oh
a
yeah.
couple of letters are gone.
All right.
Like,
Upstairs,
gone.
Dan, how's it looking?
Yeah, it's a gateway.
Hey
It's a
guys,
gateway,
we are
and that's it.
looking good. It
Yep.
does look like
The
we are
E,
within
the
Oh my
bounds of
Mars
what we
is
analyzed
gone.
if we were down.
That
one of our
line was
RVAC
just
engines,
not
so
meant to be.
I wouldn't call it phenomenal. Or
Gateway
but
to where now?
We're on a trajectory that we had analyzed, and it's within
Stuck in
bounds.
hopper.
So teams continuing to work through it with that engine out. They're
I'm
working
not shocked that
through
that got
some steps
obliterated.
on the
But yeah,
engines.
same.
We probably will end up
That's
skipping the
awesome.
Raptor
What a
relight.
shot.
For
That
today,
is crazy.
but it
The
sounds
trench
like we
looks
should
fine
still
from
be
those
on
flyover photos.
for payload deploy, at least at this time. So very dynamic moments right here.
Yeah, you can
with
see the
ship.
flame bucket down there
But
looks
we do have
fine
it in
underneath.
space. It is on a trajectory
I
now,
expected
headed towards
that.
the other side of the planet, and then a splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
So
Show
those
3179 stuff.
We're heading into an orbital sunset.
I think those are the payload bay vents,
So we're gonna
BJ,
have
that are running
darkness
right
for a
now.
little bit, and then it'll brighten up once we're on the other side of the planet, and hopefully looking at some good
Which is
daylight
nice
when
to
we
see.
re-enter into the Indian Ocean.
I don't know why they didn't have that on previous versions. I don't know why, because all fairings have it too. They have passive vents. These are more active. Whoa! That was a roll thruster activation? That looked weird.
From both.
Yeah. Those thruster activations don't look like normal vents. Like, at all.
All right,
It
so
did
we're a
not.
little over 17 minutes into flight. If you're just now catching up with us, we did see a liftoff right at the top of our window. Super Heavy getting off the pad, initially lighting all 33 of those Raptor engines, got through a successful hot staging. Initially lit 6 engines on ship, had one RVAC go out on the way uphill, but still able to
Look
make it
at
into
that.
space. And right now we're trying to see if we are going to get into
Oh, I
payload
think they said
deploy
they're
still.
skipping the Raptor relight. I just heard that.
Coming up right on the part of the timeline when we were expecting it. You look inside a Starship there. Oh,
Highlight bay doors
I see
open.
a door opening.
There we go. Door open.
Looks like Hal didn't wait. Pez door is open. Just a reminder, we've got 22 deployables in the payload bay today.
Is that something just came
20
out of the
those
door a little
Starlink
bit? That little
mass
triangle
simulators,
thing?
And then 2
Maybe.
are Dodger dogs.
Either way, they're
we
skipping
like
the
to call
Raptor
them
relight, so they're only
internally,
going to do the payload
setting up their
deploy, it looks
modified
like.
V2 Starlink satellites.
And then they'll re-enter. So something with...
Those are going to be testing.
They're
a bunch of
probably
components
issue
that
the
we're
Raptor
planning to
relight
fly
because of the issue
on,
with the RVAC, and they just don't
Starlink
wanna
V3, and we've
mess with it
also
right
got
now.
them outfitted.
They probably
with
don't
a
want the
number
ship
of
to just
cameras
blow up on
for
them or
another
something. They're
tech
probably
demo
just
that
being
we're
safe.
trying out on this flight. We definitely are looking for a way that we can look at
Which also means
Starship's
that
heat shield
I
while
can
it's
guarantee
still in
you
space.
that Flight
You
13
kind of
will
only see
not
so much from the cameras
be
and the
orbital.
flaps. You can't see everything.
Period.
Kind of on
It
the
won't be
underbelly,
orbital,
and
they're
one of the
likely
only
not to
ways you can
catch
do
20.
that is
They'll
if
have
you
to
got something
retest a
else
lot of
flying
this
near
stuff.
it. So
because they're
we're
not going to go
attempt
orbital
to,
if they haven't
our
relit a
final
Raptor in
2
space or Raptor 3.
satellites
They're not going to do that.
Going out the door have
Check
a suite of
out the
cameras
payload
on
bay.
them
Wow.
that are going to be looking back
Yeah.
at the ship. We're going to be in nighttime, and so we've got.
That's the chain, the
sounds
deployment.
Like we're getting into payload deploy. We'll be in nighttime. They've got some powerful flashlights on them to.
Oh,
try
sure.
and
We've got to go through the
illuminate
night
ship's
yet, don't
heat
we?
shield
Yeah,
while we fly
powerful
away from it,
flashlights
so
on them? Are we
Here
getting
we
like
go.
spotlights
See
on the
some
ship at
motion.
night?
Yep. There we go.
Lift the
Get
stack
ready.
up.
Lifting
Grab
up
one
the
out.
first-
It lifts the stack. There we go. Oh, got the wobble. Oh, look at that.
There it goes.
Yep, you can just see it up there.
Much quicker.
Pew.
Yeah.
That's
No
much
bounce
clearer.
out. Didn't bounce on the way out.
Our gateway cam survived, thankfully.
That's
2
good to
down,
hear.
20 to go.
And chain back, drop the stack, let the stack go.
I say that's much smoother than before.
As a reminder, that's one of the things
Yeah,
that
before they
we
were bouncing
upgraded
as they went
in
out.
Version
Yeah.
3 kind of gave
grab the
a
stack
little soup
again.
up to the Pez dispensers, so those
Lift the
satellites
stack
going
up.
to move out a little bit quicker than they did on previous Starship flight tests.
Yeah, that's super
Deploy.
smooth.
So
Deploy,
first 2 out
deploy,
the door,
deploy.
2 more on their way out.
Whoa. Yep, there one, mate.
Much quicker this time around.
Oh yeah, way quicker.
So which ones were the camera ones? The ones
last
already
two.
released? The last
No,
two.
the last
okay.
two.
Yeah, that's what they were
4
saying,
down,
the last
18 to
2.
go.
Let the stack go.
They drop the 2, go up.
Flexing my basic
hook up
math
the next
skills
one.
here today. Again, the majority of this stack, 20 of these 22 satellites, they're essentially just mass simulators, so they're roughly the same size as those Starlink V3 sats.
What's flying around the
that
ship?
we're
That's bits of
hoping to
ice.
fly later
You see
this
flying
year.
around the ship.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, the ice, methane or ice, nitrogen or frozen locks, frozen something.
Yep. And from this top-down view, so you're
Oh,
looking
nice.
down at the stack, those 2 satellites
I was
you see
pulling
on
up the
very
header
top
tanks.
that
It's frozen
don't look
water.
very different. They've got solar arrays. They've got a bunch of
So
other
before we get to
deployables
those
on
last
them
2,
that
I'm
we're
going to
gonna be
hit our
testing out that are
donations
gonna
real
be
quick.
V3 tech, and
I
they've
want to thank
got,
AK John Doe for
3
sending 5
engineering
gifted
cameras and then
memberships.
1 other camera
Brian
that's
Aries for
hopefully gonna be giving us some
re-upping
views
his
of Starship in
membership to the
space.
channel, saying we definitely love these
So
flyovers.
we
Go
will see how
RGV
that
team.
works. Again, this very
We
much
had
a tech
Yazato
demo.
with
We're gonna
another
deploy
$20
those. The
super chat.
satellite's going to kind of try and turn everything on. Look back at Starship,
DMHMT
and
with
the
$20 super
primary
chat saying,
reason
let's
we're
go
trying to do this
Mauricio.
is to get some views of the heat shield.
We really appreciate that, everybody.
All right, 2 more out the door.
Absolutely.
2 more out the door, and I think that counts, or that comes up to 8 total.
Still chanting.
As you can tell, the team.
Also, I see Meg Weaver in the chat, so want to say thank you so much for that $100 super chat again yesterday. We really appreciate that. Unfortunately, it just came in right after our outro started, so we weren't able to say it yesterday. But yeah, thank you so much, Meg Weaver.
More advanced V3 satellites. Everything's V3, designed to offer 60 terabits per second of downlink capacity per satellite. Now that is 20 times more than each Falcon 9 does today. Incredible.
All right, I think that's number 10 going out the door. Yeah, there it goes.
Star lumps, the bits of ice.
So yeah, the camera view you have on your left screen there is basically right at the bottom of the payload volume. So the kind of dome-shaped structure you see there that's actually the top of the fuel tank.
Yeah, it is.
Then the camera view that you have on the right is an external camera that we have positioned so that you can see basically the light through the open Pez dispenser door that you see. That's that sliver of light. And we can see the Starlinks here deploying as each one.
It's not a header tank problem. It's a fair bit of ice now.
I mean, it could be ice off the headers. The headers are literally right up there. I mean,
as we mentioned, we have 20 of these
it's not as bad as when the methane
satellites,
tank leaked on whatever flight that was.
2 of these specially modified, as we call them, Dodger dogs here around here. Those, as
I'm so glad they're not bouncing on the way out.
Some V3 tech on them, some solar arrays, and
there they are up
those
there.
will be the last
Yeah, they really
2
smoothed out that transition, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. And
no wobbling or anything.
Seeing
Yeah.
this, as I think Dan called them turbocharged or supercharged Pez dispenser, it's definitely coming out much faster than our previous flights. So that is really good to see. Yeah, look at that. And especially once we, fill Starship
Are they
all the way.
Are they giving the
with around
satellites like
60 or
another
so of these
0.001 delta
being able
V
to
because of the speed of the
fairly
deployment?
expediently, is going to be important for designing the overall mission profile.
Yeah. Now, fans of Starship may know that
Starlamp is my
Starlink
name for the
lots
dummy
of
satellites.
unprecedented
Okay.
views, both from space, as we see here, and on Earth. In addition to the dozens of cameras on Starship itself, we also have mobile Starlink camera kits deployed in the Indian Ocean.
Yes, Starlink also connects our aerial cinematography units on the ground at Starbase and at other strategic camera spots around Texas.
It's all part of how it all comes together to tell the incredible story of Starship
Pictures,
both
Mauricio,
on
that are
and
amazing.
off planet.
Yep.
All right, we're getting low on the stack. It looks like we got 2 more of those simulators to go out.
I don't know, Matt.
And it will be
Maybe.
time for our Dodger Dogs, those modified Starlink
hard to see.
satellites.
Yeah, it just came in through Patreon
Just
Loud.
a couple of updates while we continue to watch payload deploy. Did get confirmation we're going to be skipping
no.
relight of the
I would
Raptor.
say no, actually.
Hold on. What did you just say?
Due to everything that we saw on the way uphill.
There's
those
Reaver?
travel engines.
I would
we're gonna
say
use
no,
them for a landing
because
burn,
it's
though.
not
They
light
are
outside.
still capable
It's
to be
darkness.
used for that. So
Yeah.
we'll still look to
I'd
do
say
a
no.
controlled landing in the Gulf, but no in-space relight. All right, I think that's 19 and 20 headed out the door.
We're fine without a relight. Just show us those dummy dogs.
And then coming up are our Dodger Dogs. So these are modified V2 Starlink
Dodger
satellites.
dogs.
We do have a number of cameras on these that are going to attempt to look back at Starship.
Here comes the cameras. Yep.
We're not going to get this video in real time, but we're going to try and turn it around.
There's one more.
Get
Yes.
some video down.
Then
So we don't worry. If we get views of Starship from these satellites, we will be sharing.
Yes.
We're not going to get live views, but they're going to try and send us some views. I can see the COPVs in that
These
shot.
will be exciting because again,
I'm good with delayed
really
if we
a
have
tech
to.
demo. Getting our chance to test out some of the technologies for version 3.
Deployment successful.
All right, I think that's 18 and 20. My basic math skills are failing now. All right, here we go.
Now here's the Dodger dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
this is him.
I was one ahead of myself. I spoke too soon.
It's also interesting is that unlike the previous flights, they don't have that dummy bar above it either. It's like built into the Pez dispenser.
First one's going.
And one out the door. And from this view, you can kind of see on the right side of the satellite.
I can see it
some
out
bright
there.
White spots. Those are our flashlights. Beneath them, the cameras.
You can just
gonna
see the other
attempt to look
satellite under
back and
there.
Image Starship's heat shield as it flies
Show us
slowly
outside the
away
door.
from the vehicle.
Turn the lights
There it
on.
goes.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Wow, that's a bright
sick.
light.
Let there be light.
That is sick.
Yeah, it almost looks like the light is.
Now show this
Right out.
outside
Wow.
ship view. Come on.
That is
I
cool.
don't think it's going to be live, they said. We're going to get them later.
No, the outside view from the ship.
Couldn't tell. We're pretty
Oh,
Yeah, not
okay.
necessarily not the
Gotcha.
satellite view, but the
Right,
in
right.
space.
Because we were
Down
watching
in
it from
space,
outside the
and
door.
That looks like an empty payload bay. So
Sure does.
that's exactly
Nope,
what you want
not
to
door
see there.
shut.
That's great.
Door
So
shut.
yeah, with payload
Now it
deployed
is.
complete. Oh, you can see the door closing there. All right, there we go. So yeah, with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its. Yeah, Starship, we closed the payload door, and we're going to continue to coast around Earth all the way to the Indian Ocean. So still a lot of major events to come today. Sounds like we're not going to hit that Raptor relight, based on what Dan was saying, but after that, of course, we'll have the atmospheric reentry and splashdown. And with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
I was hoping for a
sit
flat
tight.
Altitude's
cam
coming
view.
down.
Using space views and the space jams, of course. And
Yeah, the
we'll be
light,
back
the
in a few
flashlight would
minutes
have at least
for
given
Raptor
us a
relight,
better
or excuse
view
me,
of
not
the
for
exterior
relay,
of the
but
ship.
We'll be standing by for atmospheric reentry.
Yeah, altitude finally turned around. We're slowly
Oh, there
coming
you
down
go.
now.
There's the flashlight. Yeah, it's looking at the ship right now.
So it looks like they filed the flaps in for satellite deployment. Now they've deployed the flaps again.
Oh, how
Oh,
cool.
yeah. It's looking at the ship.
Oh, how cool.
That's
There you
awesome.
go. Oh, ship's in a roll program.
Yep, it's rolling.
Yeah, we got to collect that data.
Yeah, well, it's got to do that roll so that the satellites can look at the heat.
Yeah, all points. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it noticeable? Did they release the last couple a little bit slower so they don't get away from the ship so quickly?
It's possible they did it so that the Starlings don't leave too quickly and they can look at the whole shield and everything.
They're doing. I think they're cycling the flaps in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yep, got to see all points. Too cool.
That's pretty rare. I don't think we've ever seen that on any space vehicle being lit up. I guess maybe the shuttle might have got lit up sometimes at night.
Best video program of any ship possible. SpaceX just blows them all away.
Patrons are
Well,
happy.
while this is going, I'm going to do a few things. I'll be back.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
Caught the launch on the satellite. Still trying to track down where it landed as far as the booster, but it's got to be some 200-300 miles downrange.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I'd like to see video of that.
Good news is pad looks good, gateway sign, whatever on that. They were gonna have to redo that anyways, so other than some paint on the actual pad, looks decent. We should get some pretty good views after we get the high res.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the top deck doesn't even look like it's all that darkened. I mean, it definitely you can see a little bit of darkening on it, but it's nothing like what we saw out of the previous pad.
Crazy early in that top deck. I was like, what are y'all doing? But man, I guess it's gonna work, so.
So yeah, having the top deck before launch wasn't an issue like we thought.
Man, Mauricio, you crushed it.
Wow, what a fast! That was definitely visibly faster takeoff. That's for sure.
Very much so.
Bit of knocks getting out and getting made.
Yeah, and like in the 3218 around that area, man, the heat shield looks really good too. As it was rolling, you got some great ascent photos.
Oh, these high res is going to look awesome.
Yeah,
So it's already starting to roll, you know. Cool bananas.
I feel like the ship is spinning, but I can't tell because it's pitch black, so hard to say.
Should be able to pick it up on the little thingy down here, yeah?
True. It's just there's some weird light. Oh, maybe it's a satellite going around?
Yeah, the graphic definitely shows it in a roll, doing its roll.
I wonder if the satellite's rolling around it, not the ship rolling, because we've seen this before where it kind of rolls out of control, so.
Well, it was slowly rolling before for the camera.
It's actually really cool. The graphic actually shows the flaps moving as they move too.
Yeah, we just slowed down whatever we just did.
Yeah, it looks like it did about a 270-degree roll. Doesn't seem to be moving anymore.
Oh yeah, a little bit. So when I was looking at it a minute ago, it was on a flat plane. Now it's sort of on a little tiny bit of an angle. I'd like to know what the colours are going backwards and forwards, whether they're just artifacts or because it is nighttime.
No, well, it's lighting bouncing off of the all of the dust and cryo and other gases that are out there. But my theory was that the light source had to be floating around it, so maybe it was a satellite.
Yeah, it seems about right.
So if you were sitting in the ship looking out the window, you'd probably see all those colours, yeah?
Your eye probably isn't as good as a camera, though. Oh, maybe. If your eye adjusts, then yes. But it takes a little while.
Still rolling slightly.
Pad looks really good.
Except for the gateway.
Except for the gateway. Where even is it? Is it just down there? But to get blown to the smithereens.
Look at the ship quick disconnect.
Yeah, something off of that.
Yeah.
I think it was venting.
The blast out here.
Maybe one of the valves got stuck open, maybe?
Oh, here we got footage.
Oh, there it is.
Holy cow. Oh, that's awesome. That is sick. We're going to see the door closing, too.
Yep. Feel the ice
This
down
is
here.
real. Can't be
Third
real.
person
They turned the
POV.
flashlight. They turned the flashlight off before then.
Yeah, they shut it
Oh,
off for a
it's
second,
back.
and then it comes back on.
Feel the
Yeah,
ice
look
on
at those
Oh,
patches.
that-
The patches of tiles and everything are just 100% still there.
All
Yeah.
right, so surprise. Looks like our cameras did work.
Wow.
We made contact with both of those satellites. We're gonna roll that.
Yeah, when
back
they shut the light
again.
off, that's when I thought the door was shut, and then it came back on.
Again, this is a view from
Oh, from the
one of those satellites as we deployed. It looks like this was from the last one out. Flashlight turning on, taking a look at Starship in space. The way this system is set up is the satellites are essentially recording it, then making contact with our Starlink constellation, and then
Good
transferring that
stuff.
video back down to us on the ground.
And yeah, so stinking stable.
What about the colour in here?
That's
Can
a
we
Starship in space.
didn't quite catch it.
So aside from just being really cool, this was our test to try and develop a free
We're always
flyer that we
seeing
could fire
over here,
outside
aren't
of
we?
Starship's payload bay, look back
Where's the
at
decal?
it, and then
On the bottom there.
essentially a
Yeah, it's on
pirouette,
that side.
with Starship to get a look at the heat shield, where it's going to be really important when we start bringing these things back for a catch, which we are hopefully doing in the not too distant future.
I know, I was wrong.
As they are
Clouds are
intended
venting.
to
That's
be
venting, right?
fully reusable.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
will give us an opportunity to look at the heat shield
way too
while
high for
Starship
clouds
is still
still.
in space. So
Yeah, I just looked at
there's
that.
a
I wasn't
glimpse.
looking at
We'll
numbers.
see if we get any more video down from those satellites, but I mean that's
So it
one we've
seems
been
every
doing
time I
for a
switch
while, so
to
really
our
cool
camera
to see it
photos,
come
they
to
do
fruition
something
here
over there on that
2012.
on live. So maybe I'll switch
All
over
right,
there and we'll get
coming
something
up
else for
on
live.
40 minutes into the flight.
I will comment. In
We should
addition to
start
the
hitting
sign
the
being
re-entry
demolished a bunch, there
period,
is one stretch
in the
of retention wall
7
on
minutes
the
or
east
so,
perimeter
you'll
that got
start to see a light
totally
shield
tipped
building
off of its
as we had
slab.
talked about, we did skip
Down
that
there?
on-orbit
Oh, yeah.
relight of the Raptor engine. It was not
Down
needed,
there?
Yeah, that dark
for
spot right
our
there. That the
trajectory or
wall
anything.
is
We were on
flipped
the
is
suborbital
City lights.
trajectory
over
to
and
splash
sitting
down in the
sitting
Indian
in the
Ocean.
right next to the wall.
We are going to attempt a landing burn.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see how they perform.
City lights, if you wanna
when
switch
we
back.
get there.
3658.
And just a reminder, we're going to be
Go back.
we are going to be
Yeah.
stressing the ship on the way in. We're going to intentionally do a maneuver where we're going to kind of pitch the nose up and deploy those bottom
about
flaps
7 minutes to re-entry.
really put a lot of pressure on them. So we'll see how it
So
does
what's that in
through that maneuver.
Madagascar?
And we'll be doing kind of a final
South
banking
Africa.
turn
You can see it in the
before
South
bottom
we
Africa.
get to a landing burn. So
Yeah,
all
they're
that
going
coming up in a
over.
few
They
minutes.
go over just north
The
of
light
South
show
Africa,
should start beginning real soon.
which is a funny way to say it. And then they go like just kind of skirt the southern edge of Madagascar and then come up through the Indian Ocean.
Do we remember what altitude we start to see the plasma?
Re-entry interface is in like 6 minutes. Entry interface is at 4747, which it should still be around there, even with the issues with the Raptor relay, because I mean you're still following again. It may be a little bit later though.
Right, maybe a minute or so. So less than 10 minutes.
That might be Madagascar. Oh, here we are, see. Just coming off the coast of Africa, yeah. Ah, so every time I say Africa, a Toto song gets in my head, doesn't it? Still got to go right across the Indian Ocean. But at 26,000 kilometers an hour, that doesn't take very long.
The interface has started already. It's about 126 on flight 11.
Uh-huh. So it's in the right, yep, it's got its nose up in the right re-entry position. Flaps are retracted, as it should
And I
be.
believe it'll stay until around about 60-ish kilometers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, depending on lighting conditions.
Yeah, I think that's when the plasma starts to kind of run out.
So somewhere around just before, I guess, transonic, so before that, between 47 and 102. So already plasma, yeah?
Yeah, you'll start to get some early stuff, and then full entry interface is in a few minutes. Should be in a few minutes.
Yeah, that's plasma right there.
Yeah, this map seems to be going. Oh no, it's moving.
Yeah, I just pulled up the Flight 10 video, and everything telemetry-wise is looking pretty much the same. Altitude's a little higher actually right now. Speed is the same.
So still stable. Yeah, if this hits the target, that's pretty awesome. It should appears to be going to, if what BJ's saying's right.
Two different targets they did do the in-flight, so it's going to be off a little bit depending on what they were calculating there.
I guess so, yep. Well, I mean, maybe they could make that up in its flight. I don't know how you say that. Maybe they could fly it across a little bit more once it's in atmosphere.
Yeah, the cross section should be able to get there. Just kind of depends how far off.
Yeah, and I'm scrolling the exact same T plus timing right now, and everything is almost identical in terms of the telemetries.
Cool.
The tiles there on the flap look way better here than they did on 10.
Yeah, other than the aft, everything was looking good on the ship. Aft is questionable.
Yeah.
And also, if I remember correctly, I believe around 60 kilometers in altitude is where they start to kind of slow down and hold and scrub off speed before coming back down.
It's gonna do it'll do like little S-turns here and there. Kind of do pitch changes to bleed off more and more speed. So. Oh, that was the one thing I would always see. I was curious to see, and during liftoff, you can see the frosty power heads during flight of the Raptors on booster. Because without engine shielding, you can just see the frosty power heads. That's so cool. Man, these colors.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me how much more blue the coloration is on this flight compared to 10, which I'm kind of tracking side by side. 10, obviously, I think with some of those aft explosions and stuff, it's really orange on that particular flight.
I wonder if... Because 10 didn't really have the crunch wrap. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, with the tiles.
Yeah, I think they tested crunch wrap on the on some of the aft flaps I'm looking at right now. I think there was some there, but
Yeah.
I don't think the vehicle itself had crunch wrap at that
Welcome
point.
back to Starship Flight 12.
And then, of course,
the
for
first test flight of Starship
11, they
3.
had a lot of missing
As Dan
tiles in
mentioned
a lot
earlier,
of places.
We were able to
So
make
this is a
contact
fully
with
complete heat
the
shield with crunch
modified
wrap. We haven't
satellites
seen
just
this in a
shortly
long
after
time.
deployment. And as
So
you may
maybe
have
this
seen,
is
we
due
got
to the
some
fact that it is
sweet
fully
views of
completed.
those sats looking back at
Maybe.
the ship. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah, those
Starting to
views
see that
were
atmosphere
incredible.
scrubbing
Now,
off
as
the
you see on
speed
your
pretty
screen,
good now.
Currently, the ship is re-entering the Earth's atmosphere.
So it's
This is the
about
plasma starting to build
7
up on the
kilometers
exterior of the
lower
vehicle.
and a
Now, we do not
little
plan to
tiny
recover
bit
the
slower
spacecraft
than Flight
today,
10
but
at the
rapid
moment.
and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's right. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship's systems perform.
It's about 150
Re-entry
kilometers
is an extremely
now.
demanding portion of flight where
Oh,
we
yeah.
essentially have to scrub
It's about
all
500
the
kilometers
energy
now
we use
slower
to launch the rocket
and
back
about
off in reverse.
7 kilometers
So
lower.
the 18 million pounds of thrust that we had off 33 of those Raptor engines,
Just a little.
just a little. We're now, and then another, several minute burn on the ship. We're now basically undoing all that energy here via
So if it
aerodynamic
tracks from
braking,
earlier
essentially.
flights, the altitude should start slowing
And of
down
course,
a little bit.
Starlink is a big part of it, as
Oh, yeah.
that's what allows us to actually gather
It's
this
70
data
compared to
and
77
show these live views.
in altitude.
And again, the data gathering is really the main reason why we're doing these flight tests. So Starlink provides us just one more path to collect
those
that
bits
data
aren't flying off
that
like Flight
ultimately
10
allows
right
us to
now.
rapidly iterate Starship's design.
Now, if ship manages to make it all the way through re-entry,
No
we'll
excessive
collect
heating or
valuable
burn
data
through.
on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at these hypersonic speeds, which is basically more than 5
altitude
times
slowing.
the speed of sound. Now, we do anticipate that it might be a little bit of a spicy re-entry, so we'll see how far we get. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with the spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, roughly 8 kilometers per second, or for those of us that think in other units, roughly 5
About
miles per second.
1,200 kilometers an hour slower.
At those speeds, the spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere, and it creates that plasma
this
field that
time.
we saw forming around the vehicle.
Altitude
and
drop is
although
paused.
the plasma looks really cool, it does distort some communication frequencies. So it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
It's more blue than 10. 10 was more red. The
Of course,
plasma.
thinking
This is a lot
long-term
more
here,
blue.
Starship
This
is
is
designed to land
really,
on
really
Mars
blue.
where there are no
weird.
runways or other humans to help out. That's where we're going
There's
with
a
the
bit of the aft
propulsive
flap.
landing.
Bit of the aft
instead
flap
of
just
the
a
more
bit of
traditional
flight.
ones like
You're just
parachutes.
saying this is the timeline where
Propulsive
the
landing,
aft flap
not only
starts
again is it
coming.
more cool, but it enables a more rapidly reusable rocket.
Yeah.
This little precious
Now,
spot
we
here
should
doing something
hear some
weird.
call-outs as the ship makes its way back to Earth. When we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads that it will experience.
Altitude
as
That might be.
it
That might be.
returns.
Would it be too early
So
for that to
if
be
we
like
make it
engine
through
chill
those,
related
we're doing pretty
for
well.
the landing burn?
Yeah.
Could
And you can see
be.
in the bottom
Because it
left right
stopped
now,
there. Because it started and then it stopped a little bit. It looked like it was coming out of the
it might have
drains
been-
at the base of the aft.
speed.
It might have
That's just
been. It could have
Crazy
been
number to
engine
think
chill.
about.
But
as we
then
keep
again, it
progressing
might
the
not be.
mission, we are going to hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. So transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, kind of in that Mach 0.8 to 1.2 range.
Oh,
And
there's a
for
heap of
reference,
vapors off the
commercial
back,
jets
yeah.
have a range of cruising speeds, but
Getting
mostly
some sun-
fly
getting sunlight,
around
yeah.
Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85.
It's probably just the heating.
Yeah.
And after we hear the call out that Starship is
Yeah, it's really like white
Sonic,
and blue
we
rather
should
than the
hear
reds and
call out when
purples.
Starship is subsonic.
Altitudes have leveled off
This
between the
refers to
two,
speeds
comparing
that
the
are
two
much
flights.
less
They're
than
only
the speed of
about
sound. So
half
at
a
this point in
kilometer
the flight,
difference right now.
ship's velocity will
Yeah,
be slowing down.
I think because we do know that they slightly changed the tile too.
We definitely have a crowd still
on
here.
these are newer tiles as well as tile pins and the
SpaceX
crunch wrap
headquarters
system.
down here at
So
Starbase,
maybe
Texas. Everyone is,
newer
loves watching
tiles,
ship
different color.
re-entry. It's
I guess.
always such
Altitude decreasing
amazing
again.
colors.
It's about
must be what it
about
feels like to be
1,000
one of
kilometers
those,
slower too. Maybe that's
praying
doing
mantis
something
shrimp
too.
or mantis shrimp. Can't remember exactly what the name is, but the ones that see in billions of colors. This is the closest I feel.
That's
to
got to
being
be
on
then
this.
because it starts and stops.
I think
Yeah,
one other
that's
thing that's
I
cool
think
to
that's
point out
coming.
right
That's
now
right at
is,
the base of the
look in
aft flap
bottom
hinge.
right, you can see where we are on a globe there. We're squarely in the Indian Ocean already, and we've only been flying for 53 minutes.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. We went all the way from Texas to the Indian Ocean.
Not crazy.
in
It's
less
called
than an hour.
velocity.
She flies pretty fast.
She
That
flies
is
very
important.
Time equals distance over velocity, guy.
I wonder if we can see the dummy sats behind it disintegrating.
Well, without
It
the
almost
engine
looked
burn
like
words.
we might have seen a little bit of it just a few minutes
All right,
back.
so the
There
light
was
show
a
continuing.
bunch
We
of like
are
twinkling up
through
in the
period
top
of
right
peak
corner.
heating, and we'll be looking at the peak pressure coming up in the next couple of minutes. The next 10 minutes.
At least
are
they
probably
didn't
gonna
run into the
be
ship. That's the main thing.
spiciest of entry today.
Yeah, we're about perfect for
As a
Flight
reminder,
11
we are gonna
comparison.
be doing some stress work on this ship where we're going to
I don't know why we're
do a
looking at
maneuver
Flight
where
10,
we
yeah.
kind of kick the
there's
nose up.
I don't
to
think I have
fully
11
deploy
stored
those
on my
aft
hard drive,
flaps,
so 10 was the most
to
recent
really
that I had
get a
downloaded and
good
accessible easily.
test of the structural strength of that part of the ship. We did that
Fair
on one
enough.
previous flight test on version 2. We're going to try and do that today. Since we did skip the in-space burn, we're carrying a little bit of extra propellant in our header tanks up in the nose. And so that's going to put a little bit of extra stress on those forward flaps as we come in. So we will see if they're able to hold through that reentry.
Could they not
So
vent
that
the
will be another
excess?
watch item. We did skip that in-space burn.
They could,
but we
but
are expecting
I
at
mean,
least
why not
2
use
of
this to
those sea
stress
level
test?
engines to try and
Who knows,
ignite for
right?
Yeah, makes
landing
sense.
burn. We entered the entry period.
We had
in good
daylight by now,
attitude.
though, on Flight 11.
So hopefully making our way to the targeted splashdown point. We've got that Starship recovery.
Flight 11
team
was
standing
also
by.
later in
Different
the
time of
year.
year. Yeah,
Should
different
be
time of year.
About 10
Yeah.
minutes away
Oh, yeah. Yep.
from splashdown. So a lot of excitement over the
Isn't
next couple of minutes.
Flight 11 like springtime
King
down
Jake, let's see how
down there,
Starship holds up on
basically,
the way in.
right? Because we're
Yeah, and we
And
just
the
heard
Daylight
on the nets
savings.
there that engine chill has
Oh, yeah.
started.
Yeah.
So essentially what that means
that too.
is we are prepping the
That's
landing
America's fault,
engines
not
by
Australia's
getting them
fault.
down to temperature ahead of that landing burn later in the mission here.
Yeah, it's coming on to winter now. Yeah.
And on
Yeah, they're
a lot
on
of our
target.
previous flight tests,
So
we've been
still.
removing a bunch of the tiles.
Flight
Under
11 is pretty
20,000
spot on.
kilometers.
Shot
Really
of
intentionally trying to
that
push ship
catch pin
beyond
there.
its limits.
The catch lift
on
pin.
the last flight, we even
It's kind of
had
cool.
basically a hole get punched
Everything
into
seemed
the
to
liquid
Those-
oxygen
those
tank
tiles-
that you could see when we
those
did the
tiles
landing
have held
burn
up
into
pretty
the
well.
ocean, and this ship was still able
No
to make
burn
it.
through, nothing
But
looking
right
like
now
anything
we're
burnt through
really gonna
anywhere
be
on the flap.
testing the structural strength
Oh, they're
of
not through
these
peak
flaps
heating
on
yet.
the way in.
Now it's going orange.
This is a flight test. We're trying to intentionally
now we're
find
getting
where
there.
our
Yeah,
limits
stuff's
are.
starting to heat up for sure.
And in this view, you're looking at
Yeah,
a
as
whole
far
bunch
as
of
season
tiles.
for
I
the
think Jake talked
sunlight,
about it
Flight
earlier.
9 would have been the
Bonded
closest to
some
the same
additional
time that
tiles
flew
to,
in May as well.
The leeward or kind of the metal
But
side
Flight
of
9 never had
Starship
didn't
to
ever
see
control
how
reentry,
those
so
different
yeah.
bonding techniques would hold up.
The closest
like
would
we've
be
got quite a bit
Flight
still attached.
4, because that was literally a few
Yeah, and
days
as
from now,
we're
2 years
going
ago.
down through the
Yeah, early
atmosphere
June.
here, we are
Yeah,
at about
the,
Mach
um,
16.
The ship that almost
0.1,
didn't make it.
So still extremely fast.
Whoa,
although we
check
have,
that out.
scrubbed
Still
off
a
a
different
substantial
colour. Oh,
amount of our speed
oh
already.
no, that's same colour, just different
Altitude
lighting,
at
yeah.
a little less than 60 kilometers.
Flight 11 had that effect going on as well. But it's sat a little bit closer to the flap on Flight 11 by the look of it. This is like coming off the flap here a bit. There's a gap there that wasn't there on Flight 11 so much.
You see those? You see that blue
Right,
curve
we're about 8
off
minutes
tiles
away
going
from
up?
our targeted landing
Looks
and
so cool.
splashdown time. Again, this is when the ship's going to start really
Ship
getting
is
put
approaching
through
the
the ringer.
end of the peak heating
I'm really curious about the catch pin area right there.
Just heard the call
Peak-
out of
peak And it looks heating.
Approaching end of peak heating.
So
Yep.
the highest temperature the Starship's going to see
What's
during
this?
its re-entry.
Nose cone ablation probably, or flap.
Yeah.
We saw
The
that.
flap
We saw that in previous flights too.
Yeah, Flight 11 was starting to
Camera
do
angle
flat movements now as
changes
well.
it is attached to
So are we
the
transonic yet?
forward flap on Starship. So we're
Trans-
No,
actually
you're
Sonic.
16,000 kilometers per hour right now.
helping to
You're not
steer the
transonic.
ship down for its
102.
precise landing in the Indian Ocean.
No, yeah, true. That's very hypersonic
that's
still.
just a really cool,
you're several
kind of
Mach
cool piece of
numbers right
perspective
now,
there.
to say
I
the
know some
least.
people say it makes them a little seasick, but
Hypersonic.
I definitely love it. It makes
Yeah,
it
you're
feel like
hypersonic right
you're
now.
really riding along with the ship on the way down.
So 102 should go through the sound barrier. Slow down.
Yeah, and aside from just looking
15,000,
cool,
so
all these
about
camera
14,000
views
kilometers
providing
washed up in the
just
next
really critical data on
2 minutes, 4 minutes.
how the heat shield, how the flaps themselves.
Big
are
thanks to
holding
our
up,
very
that's
own
why we've
Todd
got
for
these
sending
the
in a
flaps and then
$40
all scattered
PayPal
all around the
donation.
ship so you
Thanks so
can
much,
see
Todd. You
how
rock.
they hold up. There's some internal to the vehicle too that, and we're
Red team
getting
to the
all of
pad.
this video back via Starlink.
riding.
Even as we're just enshrouded in plasma, we're able to kind of operate.
You say the
high enough
launch pad's open,
frequency
the
to
road's
punch
open,
through.
the team back
No,
to the
red
pad.
team. Red team.
Blue
Red
team.
ocean and
Going to the
sunlight
pad,
you're
yeah.
seeing just beyond the flap. So we are coming
Never
down
mind, he came back.
into daylight.
They need to. I was about to say they need to make sure that the gateway to the gateway to Mars sign.
We've still got
The gateway
Gateway.
maneuvers lined up.
The gateway
where we're gonna
sign
be
isn't
really stressing the
blocking
flaps
the
on
road or
ship,
anything.
so-
We'll have
Ship
to
has
make sure
passed
of
through the
that.
peak heating region. External
Someone's going to get a good souvenir.
Pass
Wow,
through
that
peak
is
heating. There you
incredible
go.
news. As Dan mentioned, we were expecting this reentry to be super spicy, but excellent news that we're now past that period of
Just about to come under
heating
13,000 in
and that now
speed.
the external temperatures are
It's a
starting
couple of
to
thousand
decrease.
kilometers faster than Flight 11 right now.
Those heat shield tiles.
Yeah,
they said it was
gonna
be spicy.
Really doing a
Kilometers
ton
now.
I don't think they're
to
slowing
burn
down
off
quick
all
enough
of
because I
that
think they were stressing the
inertia
aft
that the
flaps a
vehicle
little bit more on
had
some of this stuff.
prior to re-entering the atmosphere.
At 10,000 compared to 12,000, basically at the same
Yeah,
time.
and you can tell by the G meter down on the bottom
45
right that
kilometers compared to
we're starting
46
pick up a couple
kilometers.
more G's here, so we're definitely entering the.
Yeah,
Looking at the
course.
flyover
Well,
images, I think the sign
Scrubbing
bits
off all that
cleared
energy,
the
like Kate's
road
saying.
plenty.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
I haven't looked
Right,
at
just
them.
about
I'm about to do a
5 minutes or so
comparison to
go
before the
coming
launch, but I see
shortly
lots of white
on
bits all
the-
well into the
the maneuver where
open
we're
area.
gonna, it's affectionately called the flap slap, where we're
Flight
gonna
11 was
get
pulling
the
one.
nose up on the ship,
Flight 11 is
and you're
pulling
gonna see
1.4
those
Gs,
aft
1.5
flaps, the ones
Gs
that
now
are
on
about
Flight
to fully
11.
deploy.
This is pulling 2 Gs.
Ship is at peak dynamic pressure.
Miko. I mean, not Miko, Max
Oh,
2
yeah,
on return.
Sure.
Yeah, see that it's shrapnel into the wetlands.
Man, the tourists are going to be out there like ants.
That's maneuvering.
Yep, starting to do some of those turns, maybe.
Yep, got scrubbed that speed. Under 9,000.
40 kilometers.
She looks good.
Yes.
Looks like it's holding.
Look at you can see the red of just it heating between the tiles there.
Again, the intent of that was to put just a lot of
That could be
extra
ablation off of
stress
the
on
bottom
those
of the
aft
catch pin or
flaps.
something
We are
even.
expecting the forward
Yeah.
ones too.
Kind
to
of like
see
when
a
we saw the
little
missing
bit of
tile
extra
tests.
stress as we've got a little more propellant in
Oh,
our
we
header
didn't have
tank,
G
so the area
testing.
right
We didn't
at
have
the
G
very
rating in the
edge
last
is
flight at
tight
this
as
point.
Definitely nosing
And we're
down a
through that
bit more.
test.
There we go. And we just did that test.
Still
at
a couple of
Mach
thousand
7,
kilometers
just
faster,
for reference.
and
So
a little
we are
tiny bit higher.
Still going incredibly fast.
So
Yeah, I
both-
see the Gateway confetti.
All right, we are just about
on the
3.5
other side of
minutes
the
or
road.
so away from our
A lot of
targeted
water on
landing
the
zone.
highway
Again,
though,
we're
right after the launch.
expecting to try and see 2 of these
For
Raptor engines light for the
37
landing
and
burn.
5200.
Normally we plan
37,
for 3, but we're gonna
5200
give it a try with 2.
on the last flight.
The G's have come down. Nope.
So it's about 600 kilometers an hour
We've got
faster.
Ship is starting the
At that altitude.
RTLS banking maneuver.
Look at that ablative, like beyond the heat
LTS
shield there.
banking maneuver.
And that right there,
Look at
so
that
we're
cracking.
starting a
Looks, yeah,
banking
it's
maneuver.
cracked, but
and
man.
essentially what that is when we
Up
go
a little higher.
to Starbase,
Yeah.
or when we plan to come back to Starbase, the trajectory is designed so we'll essentially swing out over the Gulf and do a swoop maneuver to then come back to
Oh,
the
so
towers.
good.
For
I'm
catch.
literally gonna have to
so
leave the second this thing splashed
We
out.
are doing that exact same maneuver.
Apparently
We
the
have
traffic's
board
really
control
bad today.
/N
Just pull it.
in
Just
the-
pull a
It
Todd and
takes
do it in
me-
your car.
It takes me 10 minutes to get to
Yeah,
work.
that
I need to
call
be
out
at
there
work
that
by
we
7
heard,
p.m. Central.
RTLS
So
stands for
like 10 to
Return
12
to
minutes is how long it
Launch
takes to get to work. So we'll
So
see.
definitely
It's gonna be a speed run.
Pretty cool thing we're demoing.
Hey
here on
Ryan,
the
I
ship,
found out
you know,
today
as
that
in the future, we are
the
gonna be
lights when they
trying
go
to
yellow and they
bring the
start
ship
to
back to
turn
the
red,
launch
it's
site,
okay,
which
just
is
go
Yeah.
for
It's
it.
gonna be absolutely insane.
I always just
And of course,
speed
we
up.
want to test
Who
out
stops?
these maneuvers, these
Right?
principles
Seriously.
prior to actually bringing the
Not me
airplane
today.
back to the pad.
Not
This
me
is
today.
The same reason why we were, intentionally not.
So you don't
trying
have
to
traffic
bring
light cameras in
the
America?
booster back to the pad.
Well, we do, but
We're
not
trying
the way
all
I
these
go.
things out in this
In
developmental phase of
Minnesota,
the vehicle.
they don't really have
and,
them.
really proving
There's
what a
only
test
like
flight
some
is.
stop signs that have
Absolutely.
them,
Dynamic pressure is coming
Minnesota
down.
as a state doesn't really have them.
All right, we heard
All right,
there,
we're coming
dynamic
down
pressure
quick
coming
now.
down, and I'd say we're in a pretty good
Around
bank right
1,500
now.
kilometers, we're coming.
Yeah, executing the power slide. We're about 90 seconds away from our anticipated landing burn. Clouds coming up, pretty sunrise on the other side of the planet.
That looks beautiful.
Starship is subsonic and is on target.
Subsonic and on target.
Coming into free
You
fall
know,
almost.
for losing an
The
R
crowd
back,
here reacting
this is
to
impressive.
that
I will
call
say
out,
that.
letting us
That's an
know
awesome
that we are on
capability to
target
show
for this
on the first
precise
V3 flight. You lose
landing
an R
in the
back and
Indian
you're
Ocean. This
still
will
gonna
once
nail
again
it.
be a
looks like.
soft splashdown.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, is this going to be the first time we have a successful ship and not a successful booster?
They are standing by to receive this ship. Once again, this
Yeah,
is
it
the
might
first
be.
flight of
I
our
feel like if
completely redesigned
booster
Starship
failures
version
always
3.
happen before a ship failure.
Yeah, and if you remember
Yeah,
the
'cause the
suborbital
first
flights
ship-
from a few years
first,
ago,
like, kind
this
of
is
ship
very much
success we
the
had
same
was
regime that we're in
29,
here. So we're sub
and that was
15
booster 11 that
kilometers,
nailed it.
executing
It just
what we
wasn't
call
caught
the belly
'cause
flip maneuver.
It just nailed the landing though.
Yes, serial number 8, the first belly flop. I remember it well.
Clouds
Some really
incoming.
amazing views of the Earth as
7
the
kilometers.
ship is coming back home. Thanks, Starlink.
Thanks, Starlink. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can see
Oh,
the
they lost one
flap
tile.
there making
Yeah, lost one.
corrections.
Starship is turning for final approach to landing site.
Look at that turn.
There we go. Minor corrections and a full
at that.
turn.
Wow, the fact that it's doing this, oh man.
Yeah, Starship doesn't fly like an airplane. It's a lot more
That's
like a
not right.
skydiver.
Crazy.
Full belly flop on the
AI
way
is
down,
amazing,
using those
Dave.
flaps similar to arms to help change the
Don't
path
help
of
that.
the
Don't
Oh, there it
help
goes back.
excuses.
coming up real soon. Again, going for a landing burn, trying to light 2 of these Raptor sea level engines.
Come on, baby.
Landing
Passing
burn startup.
landing burn startup. 2 engines lit.
What's that shot?
Successful flip.
There it is.
Yes.
Buoy
She
came
looks
up.
good.
Oh, perfect.
Roll
Oh
in.
wow.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
They
Looks
showed
so
us the
much
top
better
half.
too.
She looked good. Wow.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Oh,
we got
And they're
the
doing it this
explosion there
time.
too. Thank you for showing that.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
thanks for showing it all the way through instead of cutting it at the
Right?
explosions.
Those
Incredible.
As soon as the header tanks hit, boom.
That ball of fire is exactly what we wanted to see for the ship today. As weird as it may sound to hear, but it is the truth.
Absolutely wild. At the beginning of the show,
That was just amazing.
We're pretty hyped.
That was absolutely awesome.
we guaranteed excitement at the beginning of the show, and I'd say Starship delivered.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Landed on target. The ship looked beautiful.
For Starship. That was the
What an
first
ending.
flight
All right, now I have to go
of
to
that
work.
completely redesigned vehicle. As you can tell, the teams are incredibly proud of what we just saw.
Yeah, V3 definitely showed up. That was amazing.
Yeah.
You guys all have
we've
fun.
pretty happy
with
crowd
everything here,
in the control
and I'm
room
gonna go
behind
work.
me. I will say,
Yeah,
it's
that was an awesome flight.
Thanks, Ryan.
I've seen a lot of people.
It was nice hanging out with
in
you
a
guys,
really long
and I'll
time.
talk to you guys all later.
On target landing. Wow.
Wow, that was awesome.
Actually, let's jump over. Hey, Tyler, how's everyone holding up in Hawthorne?
We're having a great time.
Yeah, that was
Thank
just
you
incredible.
So much. That was another exciting Starship flight in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those awesome Starlink views. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you guys for tuning in, and back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks. So just to recap, we lifted off right at the top of our window, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. We were able to see the booster light 33 of those Raptor engines get off the pad and ascend over the Gulf. Successful hot stage separation. Initially lit 6 of those Raptor engines, lost one of the RVACs on the way uphill, and then the booster didn't complete its full boost back. Its mission ended a little bit early, but landed in the clear area that we had set in advance. Once we were on orbit with ship, we were able to get through our payload deployment, 22 satellites, the 20 simulators, the 2 Dodger dogs, which successfully turned on cameras. We'll see if we got any more views from those. So obviously stick around. Skipped the Raptor relight, but made it through re-entry on target landing in the Indian Ocean. You saw those views. Starship made it. It's been a long time coming. We're really excited to see this vehicle fly, and there are several more on the way. So that's going to do it for me up here. Send it back down to Kate and Jake and everybody who I hope is at least a little bit excited down in Star Factory.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely insane down here. We would, of course, want to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents here at Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and of course, the Australian Space Agency.
Yeah, so honestly, just huge congratulations to all our teammates here at SpaceX and everyone who's supported the Starship mission just in general here. It's been a massive effort, really incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that worked really hard to make things look easy, so shout out to those teams. Now be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and more exciting views that we didn't get to show you on today's live program. I have a feeling we'll see some pretty amazing stuff come from those demonstration satellites that we were able to show some initial footage of. Now, if you're interested in more launch coverage, head on over to our profile on X. We also have spacex.com/launches for you to check out for the most up-to-date information. So thanks to all of you for tuning in. We're going to close it out and celebrate with our colleagues. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Now for the next flight announcement. It was neat seeing those dog bone supports on top of the tank. These exterior views were what I was looking forward to most, for sure. No video announcement? Wow.
There it is.
Steph, you're muted. Yeah, look at that shot.
Yeah, the one high res that Mauricio threw in the in one of the extra folders is absolutely stunning.
Oh,
I think it might be the
one
one.
camera
I think
got
he might have
knocked.
put it. I think he might have put it in Patreon Lounge too.
Oh, hang on, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's the same one that was in Patreon Lounge. That I don't remember if you showed it earlier, but the liftoff one.
Where are you? There, that one I can do. I should download it, shouldn't I? Sorry, disappeared for a sec. Had a phone call from family. Everything's good. I'm not going to be around next weekend. From Friday till Monday, I'm not going to be around next weekend. Going to a wedding. Just get back in last minute arrangements. Next Friday, I fly. Wow, super awesome photos. So the launch pad? It still gets cooked, eh? Seriously, but much better protected this time around. Yeah, very noticeable jump off the pad. So, okay, so we're still live on YouTube. Cool. So how was that, YouTube? That was pretty awesome, eh? Australia, United States calling. Yeah. Welcome to Australian waters, America.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was part of there was a treaty signed between Australia and America a couple of years ago to do with space flight and ITAR stuff. I'm wondering if flights into Australian waters for Starship was even part of that as well. Okay, we have a show and tell time. What's Matt want?
Show and tell at 8 p.m. Central, so look forward to that, everybody. Also, can we comment on just how good that heat shield looked when it came down? I mean, so much better than last time.
Can I replay some of that now? Let me see. Oh yeah, I can replay that.
In the Indian Ocean, we've still got
highlights. Wow, so highlights. I guess, man, that satellite deployment, that was pretty of a highlight. That vision they gave afterwards, that was pretty cool. They're happy chappies, aren't they?
Do you blame
them? I could only imagine, yeah.
Yeah, with them not cutting the coverage as it tipped over this time around. I mean, there was such a good view as it totally landed on its leeward side, so that windward side was really visible.
Oh, the landing bit. I missed the landing bit live. Yeah, that landing footage. I noticed a bit of, so I was on the phone. That landing, the drone footage looked awesome from above. Is that what you meant? The tiles you saw on landing maps?
Yeah, there was no rust coloring. The spread of like the white discoloration and stuff was very minimal. I mean, it just looked really good.
See the flames coming out of the methane tank, and then finally the big explosion. That was crazy footage. This footage, this is incredible. To get over the top of it while it's doing a split maneuver, that was some good piloting. They almost nailed it.
Yeah, and the buoy camera almost looked like it was a replay from one of the other landings, because it's like all you see is kind of the plume.
Yeah, that shot right
That's
there.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
it's in such good shape.
But I don't
So a
see
bit of the
anything
black-
that says that any of the actual. I don't see anything that says any full tiles came off of there ever. I think all that white is just a little bit of the discoloration and ablation, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So the black coating coming off the white tiles, perhaps? Is that what's going on there?
You know, or maybe the crunch trap does a little bit of kind of migrating.
Oh, yeah. Kind of migrating. Yeah, that
Yeah, there's
explains it.
a little slight rusty color at the bottom, just barely though.
Look at this row of tiles along here. It's like different colours. It's more black.
Almost like a line straight down the middle.
It is. Like it's like maybe it's the actual point of like a pressure, a different pressure, because it's actually the first point of contact. But you'd think it'd be wider.
Do we know if maybe there's a fuel line or something on the other side of that might be keeping that area slightly cooler?
On the inside, maybe. Is that where the downcomer for the... No, it'd be on the other side, wouldn't it? No, yeah, downcomer for the... maybe for the header tank? Might follow
it's
that
about the only
line.
thing I can think of why that would possibly be like that.
Boom. There's flaming out there. That's awesome. I think that might even be some pipe work too. And then, yeah,
Oh, is that one of the COPVs flying and tumbling just now? Yeah, watch when it booms and then it starts flinging towards the back of the ship.
So 2 drones. Oh yeah, yeah.
No, watch to the right, just above the ship. Here, there it goes.
Oh, this one, yeah, it might even have methane in it. Yep. Yep, that's probably a methane COPV. Yep. That's classic. It's the only thing that's flammable, so I guess that's what it is. That almost looks like, I suppose, just the start of the explosion. Like I said, it almost looks like 2 pipes, but it's just the start of the explosion, I guess. So that camera was up here somewhere, that drone. I wonder if they recovered that drone.
Maybe not after that fireball.
There's still a bit of fuel on board.
Yeah, they were saying that their header tank was a lot more full since they didn't do the relight. So they said that would put some extra stress on the flaps.
So, okay, so do they do the retro burn or whatever? They do the in-flight burn straight off the header tanks, I guess, then, do they? Rather than the main tank.
I believe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's why we see when they do those single relight static fires on at Massey's, it's always from the header tank.
Okay, yeah. So would they still need positive, a little bit of forward thrust, or would the whole system maybe be primed fully so they can literally, like, straight away have the whole thing primed so there's no actual air bubbles or whatever bubbles in the whole system from header tank all the way down to the engine, like fully primed? Boom. If they could, I suppose, if they could do that, that'd make tanking easier in space, because they could do that burn in space to get the liquids down, although they may just use cold gas thrusters for that in space. Just to settle the liquids. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take like 0.1 G or something. It doesn't take much to settle the tanks. Absolutely amazing. Well done, SpaceX. Yeah, it wasn't a perfect flight, but geez, was 99% perfect, 90% perfect, just for the booster's sake, really. And that one engine on the ship, and for some reason they couldn't do the relight in space. So next flight, I guess we'll see exactly the same flight and try to do exactly the same milestones.
That should keep the IPO on course as well.
So where was that? What time was that external shots? I bet you that's all over X now.
I'm wondering when that tile came off.
T plus 37 minutes or so.
That's when the tile popped.
No, that's when they had the online views, the offline views. 37:46. Wow, yeah, you had it there too. That was the off-board view from the satellite.
Amazing. Something you don't get to see very often at all.
It's really interesting to see the oxidation coloring of all the welds from that close up, because we never get to see that close.
Rusty boy. So that's the welding changing the molecular structure, I guess, of stainless steel to make it able to be rusted.
Yeah, it's the heat affected zone from the welding.
Light's on. It took a second for the sensor to adjust its light level. Everything looks pretty schmick. Bit of frost on the methane tank.
Now, when it comes to the upcoming tanker ships, are they planning to have engines on those? Even one?
What? Yeah, well, it's got to get to orbit.
Yeah, it's still got it. Yeah, it's still the depots and stuff still have to make it up in orbit.
Okay, so my question then becomes, what would keep SpaceX from taking a tanker ship and docking it into a Starship and then filling everything and sending that package off to Mars with a tanker attached?
It's twice the mass. So twice the mass to have to accelerate. So therefore, you got to have twice the. I don't think the math would work. Twice the mass, twice the delta V. So just basically doubling everything up. So you'd have to have both.
Once you
vehicles
get
full
into
of,
space, though.
Yeah, but you still have to go from low Earth orbit speed up to trans-Martian injection speed, which is from 25 odd thousand up to 41 odd thousand kilometers an hour. So you have to accelerate twice the mass now to the same speed. So it would take basically twice the energy because everything's fairly. You can get rid of a lot of a lot of things are insignificant in space because there's no atmospheric drag and that. So it'd be the same as launching two ships side by side, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You might as well launch two ships side by side.
Were you trying to ask if you were trying to launch to Mars an additional tanker ship? Was that what your question was?
No, I was asking because so they're planning on putting a ship up into space, correct? And then putting tankers up there to fill it up so that it can get on its way. My ask was basically, could they dock an extra tanker ship to the ship and then fill everything up and send the ship and tanker together as one on the flight out?
So both ships going to Mars then?
Correct.
So it would, yeah, like she said, it's two ships. There's no gain there.
Just wondering.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
So the idea being that you would have, okay, so the theory, I don't know if this is what you were going for. The theory being if you try to send a full, let's call him a tanker that was filled up in LEO in the same vein, that it would be able to deliver 100 or so ton to Mars. So if you in theory would have a 150 ton tanker then when you get to Mars orbit, if that's what you're trying to go with.
No, my theory is just that it would be able to have more fuel for the trip there, and of course more back. You'd probably ditch the tanker by the time you got to Mars. That way, you'd have a full ship for the ride back, and then you could. That way, it would give you more thrust to get there and more thrust back to make the trip a little bit faster each way.
No, because you have to accelerate the mass still. You're doubling the mass, so.
Sure, I just didn't know if maybe without the atmosphere it might make it a little bit better or not. So, yeah.
Mass is still mass. So this glow. Definitely a glow. I don't know whether that's from outside.
From back that corner somewhere.
That's you can see.
Yeah, I think
this engine's glowing.
Yeah, it's doing the same glow that the one on the right is doing, and I think what we're seeing on the aft section is just a reflection of the light coming from that heating off of the inside of the aft section.
Or do you think it could be from, because the heating is pointed towards your interior Raptors, could it be the heat from those Raptors actually heating up the outside of the bells?
Well, I think that's the same. I think it's the same heating we saw with version 2 Raptors. The vacuums did the same thing on the previous generation too. Just not. I think it's a little bit more here than what we saw then.
Do we know which engine shut down? Is it that one over the back there? Do we know which one that relates to?
I would think it's 98 there with the frosted over bell.
Oh, of course. Yep, that would be correct. Yep, that's not running. That engine's not running. Yep, absolutely. Yep, because that one's not frosty. Yep, good point.
I'm making a half assumption on that. I'm not entirely sure what the orientation of the graphic is, but the fact that the other two have the orange glowing bells makes me think that those are the two that are running.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is a little glowing you can see off of 98 on there is a little glow there, but it's not as much as the other ones.
That's what makes me think that that the interior ones are heating them up on the outside just a little.
Because that's only on this side.
It shouldn't be. They're not that much farther. They're not high. They're not that high to be getting over there. They're almost parallel to each other.
Well, yeah, I don't mean from the flame. I'm sure the bell is probably pretty stinking hot.
Radiated heat.
Yeah, just radiated.
Because it's only on that side. If that was this bell getting red hot, you'd expect it all to be hot, wouldn't it? So it's only that, and this one here's glowing. It's not even running. So
it's like the one in the back.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But I think
why
it has to do with the localized heating. I think has to do with where the manifold for the cooling inside the bell is.
Okay.
Really quickly, the sea levels have frost, so it actually might be the right engine.
Ah.
Yeah, it's possible. Like I said, I'm not sure what the rotations are.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just pointing out random things.
Sorry, yeah.
I will say during the stream, it did look like the right engine wasn't doing anything, but who knows?
Yeah, but that frost is higher up on the.
That's what I was going to say. It's not on the bell.
Right.
Well, it kind of is. It's just the where the plumbing and stuff is a little different between the sea levels and the RVACs.
That'd be about right. That would be running. That's cold methane going straight into the cooling manifolds. Same here. It's cold methanol going into the cooling manifolds. I'd say that engine is running. I'd say that engine's not running, and that's still reflected because it's reflecting all the way over to here. It's the same red over here, and that's not hot. It's like something's going on. I'm not sure what. There's something over this area making red light. I think that whatever's making that red light is what's reflecting there, and it's also reflecting on this one. We can only just see the edge. We're only seeing this edge of it here.
Do we have a slightly earlier view to see if the red is increasing or?
I think that was the first view.
Oh yeah, that was pretty early in.
boom. Where a booster goes, boom.
Right.
Right about there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that it was the first view.
Looks like the only view.
Okay, yeah. Well, at least nothing blew off the walls, or like everything else seemed to stay together.
Yeah, no fires.
The shadow changing here. Oh, doing a pitch maneuver. It seemed to be pitching. I was a bit worried too that they were losing a bit of attitude control with it, with that one engine out. Like the sea levels were sort of struggling to deal with the asymmetric thrust. They seem to catch it about
I was just
here.
looking at. I was just looking at with those who track Raptors over in the Ring Watchers forum. It was 116, the one on the right that did sound like they believe is the one that went out.
Well, it's also smoking during that, so I was surmising. Although we've always seen the smoke kind of in that area anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, looks like there is a little bit of damage to the skirt, right back there, just next to 140, but just barely. Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know what that light is. That's weird, that light.
It's not sunlight, is it?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's just from external or internal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
No, I mean, it's not like radiating through, and no, I guess not. Yeah.
Well, there is an angle through there.
It should have changed though with that as they were starting to do that pitch just now. If it would have been the sun.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be heating up.
So what's getting hot?
It might all be hot, and the sun is kind of making it seem like it's not all just red hot. Like behind 98 looks like it's probably hot too. So.
Oh yeah.
Like if they turn, well, sorry, if they turn the sun off. If they turn the sun off, it might be glowing red.
Don't do that. No, I'm rather fond of the sun. But yeah, if they turn the sun off, we might see it differently. So, this one, 190. Was it this one over here?
Yeah, 116 was on the right.
116, yeah. So is it this top engine up here? Is that the one we're looking at? How do we tell? Don't we know the flaps? So isn't this shot usually the flaps are over here? Or no, over. How was it again? Can we tell which orientation we are exactly in here? I know the ring watchers can.
Yeah, I forget on the I know the Raptor tracker diagram. They don't have the flaps and the QD on it, so I'm not remembering exactly which orientation it is.
Yeah, I must say, this aft skirt's clean as. There's no pipe plumbing. There's nothing under here. It's like nothing at all under here at all. They've totally redesigned this aft in here. Normally we saw lots of, like, especially version 1 ships, there was heaps of stuff under here.
And insulation, all kinds of stuff.
Are we still on YouTube?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well, speaking of that, I'm going to step away for our little hour here before our show and tell starts to grab some dinner, and I will chat with everyone later.
Yeah, I think we can probably shut down YouTube now, and I'll come back later to myself. I want to step away from it, so I've got to ring back. Got to make a call back again, so we might pause it for now and get your questions and everything ready for the show and tell, where we'll be in the green room, so everyone can chat for a while, and we'll see you then. At what time, Matt?
All right, show and tell is going to be at 8 p.m. Central today. And also look forward to tomorrow, where we will have our normal weekly show. Zach will be hosting tomorrow, so that's going to be an exciting go-over of what all happened today and throughout the week. So, yeah. With that, we are crazy excited. This was a fantastic launch and flight, and looking forward to going over it some more. So we will see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow. Love.
Hey, Matt, real
Peace.
quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to, before I go, I just wanted to thank everybody that supported and sent PayPal donations. I think the very last one I sent you, I don't know if you read it out, Todd, sent us a $40 donation to PayPal. I want to thank everybody else, everybody that helped out. It was fun. We got some good images. We're going to go over them later on. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Mauricio. Thank you.
You crushed it, Mauricio. We appreciate you. All right, we'll see you guys later. Love, peace, and chopstick rail grease.